want to see us compete. That's all I want to see, guys. Don't worry about anything else except doing your job. Give me some.
The top 10 matchup, I'm expecting to be lively, electric, dogs barking.
Excited and eager to prove where we are right now isn't a mistake.
Let's do it.
You want to win every game. At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Come on!
It's Georgia, so it's going to be a physical game.
Make the finish all day.
We're just going to keep coming. We'll never back down or give up.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Rams on top.
Welcome to Athens, Georgia. This town bathed in sunshine on the third Saturday in October. This is the SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King. Anticipated top 10 battle between the Hedges at Dooley Field and Sanford Stadium. The Dogs have suffered one loss here. The Rebels got them in Oxford last season, so payback might be a motive. Rebels want to show they belong right where they are in the top 5. They come in undefeated. Welcome to the All-State Kickoff. Chris Fowler from Curb Street. Nice to be here in a beautiful afternoon here in Athens. And plenty of plot lines getting with the two head coaches, one representing offense, one representing defense, who are both staff mates on the Saban championship team.
That's what's so exciting is how well they know each other. In fact, on the field, here they are getting together. You and I were down there with Holly. It's fun to talk to them. It's like it's hard because we know each other so well that you got to come up with some few different wrinkles. But it'll be fun to see how this one plays out today. So much at stake.
Very different personalities, but good buddies. And, yeah, I agree. It's very compelling for a lot of reasons, including the starting quarterback for Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss. He was a late bloomer. He got no Division I offers. He went to Ferris State, bided his time, then won a D2 national championship last season. He comes to Ole Miss to compete. He was the backup till Austin Simmons got hurt. And for the last 4 games, this guy, Kirk, has become a folk hero. Trinidad and Tobago flags all over the place. Trinidad Spotlight, or the All-State Spotlight, showing you that Trinidad has shown he belongs. Again, Michigan, nobody paid attention to him, and he patiently found his way to Oxford.
Yeah, let's not sleep on what he did last year. I think the experience of winning a national championship at the D2 level created a lot of confidence in him. So when he got his opportunity to step in for Austin Simmons, he really hasn't let go. What's going to be interesting today is this is his first test on the road in this atmosphere. There's always talk about Lane Kiffin's system. It's very effective at home. Can it travel into these tough SEC environments and consistently be able to communicate and make it happen? Today we'll see if this young quarterback can do it.
And now the national anthem performed by the Redcoat Band. Fired up. A little earlier than we expected, Bert, but early is one of the buzzwords for Georgia. They have not started well early on either side of the ball. Can they change that today? Avoid falling in one of those holes. Gunnar Stockton, I guess the message to him, don't throw picks, but don't be risk averse. Kind of let it rip when you have a chance.
And I think the more reps he gets, more experience he gets as a first-year starter, you're going to see that happen. In fact, I said, how do you get to a point where you know you got to start fast? You got to not worry about making mistakes. He said, you know, the one thing I learned about this is preparation. The better I prep and the better we as an offense prep, the better chance we have.
I mean, Kirk, his toughness unquestioned, but he took a lot of hard shots from Auburn. They'd like to have him get down a little bit, protect him better. After all those hits, look at the throw.
Yeah, and then the dive. That's the competitive nature that you love about this guy. Our introduction to him last year in Atlanta was the SEC championship when Texas really challenged him, hit it big, and I think that became his reputation, his ability to take these hits. But he's a quarterback. You know, he's got to find that fine line between being competitive and getting down to protect himself. He's going to play through some pain today. We'll see how he's able to do it against this Ole Miss defense.
On the defensive side, nobody's better than Kirby Smart at altering things at halftime. But he wants a faster start from his group. Opponents have been going up and down the field against the Dogs early in football games. Can't wait for this top 10 collision in Athens. You've been watching the All-State Kickoff. Back with the kickoff in Athens right after this short break. Deeper than this. Is there a super team at the top? Remains to be seen, but look how many high-quality teams there are.
And look at the rankings. And you have 10 teams that are up there. If I sat here right now, here we are almost near the end of October, and said, who's going to be in Atlanta? You have no idea. No idea. Because it's, as you said, we usually have a Georgia or an Alabama, somebody up there. But right now, it's just wide open. So every single week, you got to get a win to kind of keep yourself in the mix. Vandy got one earlier today against LSU. And now we'll see what happens today with Ole Miss and Georgia. Yeah, long way to go, but you're right. Every week the puzzle pieces begin to fall into place. And if Ole Miss could come in here and pull the upset today, get to 4-0, they have the easiest remaining schedule. So a lot at stake for the Rebels. Yeah, it's a great point. And anytime you get on the road like this, this is really where you have a chance to send a message to the rest of the conference. If Ole Miss comes in here between the hedges and can beat Kirby and Georgia, not only you pick up a huge win, but I think it builds a lot of confidence for the rest of the year to deal with that schedule. Trinidad Chambliss, you mentioned first big test. It's his first FBS start, and it's in this place. And this is a much bigger crowd than the entire number of people he played in front of last year at Ferris State. 20,000 more than that total. Yeah, and you and I have come into this stadium and thought this is going to be a really competitive game, and by the end of the first quarter, the game is over. It has an effect like a lot of these SEC environments of just consuming you. It's important for him to be able to obviously have some success early. Nobody does a better job than Lane Kiffin knowing how to make those easy throws, how to get your quarterback to settle in, and see how easily they can do that. It's going to be tough against this Georgia D. You're hyped up for the chess match, so we're going to show you the stuff that happens before the ball is snapped. Lane Kiffin trying to get the whistle. Kirby Smart trying to react to it. And all these people playing their part. Kirby says it better be the loudest crowd ever here. One of the special spots all across the landscape. Saturday in Athens, GA. His body paint commitment. It's been done once this year. Alabama came in here, executed spectacularly with Ty Simpson, but it took that to beat the Dogs in this place. Only one previous trip away from home for the Rebels. That was in Kentucky. The Dogs getting ready to run out. You want to conquer this? You want to beat this tough Brazilian football team? Strap it up and get ready to go, Kirk, for the full 60 minutes and then some. Right on time. And now,
the first top 10 collision in this place since the last visit by Ole Miss a couple years ago when it was a rude reality check for Lane Kiffin. They lost by 5 touchdowns as a highly ranked team. Kind of a slow stroll onto the field for Lane.
He's like, I'm here. We're here.
It all went wrong in that 2023 game here. Ole Miss was the top 10 team. Georgia was ranked number 4, and it was a Bulldog beatdown. Just a physical manhandling on both sides.
Yeah, it's one of those games we came in, like you said, a top 10 matchup. You think this one's going to go down to the wire, but it got out of control. Brock Bowers made some big plays. Larson back on fire.
But last year in Oxford, Jackson Dart made enough plays. Austin Simmons came in and engineered a touchdown drive when he got hurt. And the takeaways, 3 takeaways against that Georgia offense and Carson Beck. Field rush in Oxford. Maybe doesn't go too big on payback, but you know these Georgia players did not like the way that finished last year, losing by 18.
Right. And look at this. It's incredible. Home versus on the road. Got to take it on the road today.
Big drop-off. Great to have Hallie Rowe with us, and she's down there with Lane Kiffin.
Well, Coach Kiffin, Trinidad Chambliss has done a terrific job for you, but you've got a healthy Austin Simmons. What will you expect today at quarterback?
Well, we're excited. Both guys are ready to play. Trinidad's going to go first, and we're going to have to remain calm in this environment, play really well, really smart football.
You talk about the communication. It's so loud here. How will you communicate effectively with your QB? You like to make a lot of checks and stuff.
Can't hear you.
My point exactly.
We're good. It's loud for them, too.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You're going to have fun.
Hey, guys, Austin Simmons is actually pretty healthy. Coach told us that he took the most reps that he has taken all week. I watched him in pregame warm-ups, and he is moving very well on that ankle. He's a lefty, so it's his plant foot, but he looked fantastic. Don't be shocked if you see him come in this game today.
Yeah, very talented guy. Not quite the dynamic runner that Chambliss is, but a beautiful thrower of the football.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see him at some point today. I think this defense that Georgia plays will allow him to come out such a pure passer, very accurate passer. So at some point, I wouldn't be shocked if he gets an opportunity.
Kiffin's going to put his defense on the field first, 1 in deferred. He's hoping his guys can get a quick stop against the Bulldogs offense that has started slowly, as we've said. So Lucas Carnero, very accurate, superb kicker, and normally bangs these kickoffs well through the end zone. Only 4 have been returned out of 40, just in case. Zachariah Branch, the elite returner and receiver, standing at the goal line. Here we go. Rebels and Dogs from Athens. Yep, that's what usually happens. He lands near the hedges. So here comes Gunnar Stockton. A tough guy. He's been clutch when they needed him. Finishes games really well. Again, they want to get him going. They want him to lock in and just let it go a little bit early.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're a first-year starter, you don't want to make that critical error, and I think that's maybe something that he's tried to overcome. You know, like you said, just play free, play loose, trust your eyes, and get the ball out.
See a rotation of very good running backs. Nate Frazier gets the start for the Dogs. And a quick throw to Zachariah Branch, who makes a ram for about 8 yards. The impact player has been Georgia's got the ball.
You look at a combination of backs. Let's start with Chauncey Bowens. He's going to have a chance to get they need to run the football. That's an area Ole Miss has struggled. You'll see Zachariah Branch. You already saw him once underneath. Eccles on the other side, 52. And Daughtry does a good job, middle linebacker.
Quick run gets the first down. Those impact players brought to you by the Home Depot. So the Georgia drive up and running, literally.
You'll see this run game. They're going to hang their hat on it every week, but especially this week. Like I said, Ole Miss has had some problems in that area, especially early in the year, of getting gouged for big plays. They've got to do a good job of not giving up that big crease. And Georgia will continue to challenge them to try to find those opportunities in this run game.
Chauncey Bowens It's his turn to the backfield. He's got the football to flea flicker. Stockton launching downfield, looking for Colby Young. He's got it in stride. Trickery from Mike Bobo, and the Dogs in business inside the Ole Miss 25.
Well, this is a really challenging play for this corner. He gets his eyes in the backfield. That was Chris Graves. Watch him right here. He starts to take a peek. He loses the receiver because of the way you see the speed and being able to pull away. Perfectly thrown football. He's down there on the sideline.
Young, the receiver, hobbling off. It was hard for the corner because the ball was perfectly thrown.
He put his eyes back into the backfield, and that's when the ball was already in the air.
Frazier knocked down. This Ole Miss defense, as you pointed out, they make a lot of explosive negative plays, but they give up so many big ones. Their yards per carry allowed last in the SEC.
Well, Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator, he does a lot of shifting and slanting. This Mike Bobo is going to be calling the plays against Pete today. And it's like a feast or famine. Sometimes you slide or shift yourself into a tackle for a loss. Other times you take yourself right out of the play.
2nd and 9, play fake. Stockton to the far sideline and coming back to make the catch. Flags come in is Noah Thomas, who has been little used this year, but made a big catch in that Auburn victory.
I think
he pushed off.
This should be offensive. This should come back.
Big, strong guy, 205 pounds, very rangy. Former A&M
There were
Aggie.
2 fouls on the play, both of them against the offense. An eligible player downfield, number 56. That penalty is declined. Offensive pass interference, number 5. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
Yeah, anytime you run RPO, run pass option, the offensive line runs it like a run play. It's actually 57, Freeling, who is downfield. And there's Noah Thomas with the push into the back that created the separation. There's the progressive pylon cam. Give you a really good look. 5 getting his left hand up, both hands, and there's the shove.
It's pretty clear. So the penalty they chose to accept nullifies a gain down inside the 10. Ball back near the 40. This is Branch. Can he escape? No. They had him penned in on that sideline and brought down by Cam Franklin, the very athletic and active defensive end.
Great leverage on the outside. You know, I talked to Pete Golding on the field, and he said, man, they do so many quick throws to Zachariah Branch. We have got to take that game away. If we see certain formations, there's Colby Young who's going to go in, get looked at. Hopefully he'll be okay. If we get that look where it's going to be a quick throw, we've got to be able to hold leverage and get off of our blocks and make those Zachariah Branch quick throws short games.
Right now they're in long-distance field goal range, but they'd like to get closer here on 3rd and 23. Cass Jones is the 3rd down specialist, and he takes a handoff and gets it back down inside the 35. TJ Daughtry on the stop, and the penalties undid that drive.
Yeah, sure did. And I think it's a good call there on 3rd down to at least try to get into field goal range, give yourself a better shot. Picked up about 5 yards there, so still a big kick here.
Hayden Woodring 4 for 7, career from beyond 50 yards. This is from 51. A swirling wind down on the field preseason. It could be a factor on punts and kicks. Drives it. No problem for Woodring. 2 excellent field goal kickers today. And Georgia drives it 42 yards and settles for 3. Trinidad Chambliss making the game of his life here. We'll step out into the noise of Sanford Stadium for the Rebels' first possession when you come back. And this arch, you've got to have graduated or he's off limits to walk under that thing. National Championship Trophy making an appearance, presented by Dr. Pepper. Each week gets us a little closer to trying to figure out this 12-team playoff bracket puzzle, but long way to go for the championship game in Miami on the 19th of January.
Those rankings went early November, and they start to come out every Tuesday. Still a couple weeks.
Like you don't know. You're part of that.
No. I graduated last year.
Is a touchback by Woodring. And here he comes. Trinidad Chambliss. There's a flag. Did go out of bounds. So
number 91.
That's a nice boost to get the 35-yard line to begin this drive. And Trinidad told us he's going to take some deep breaths, just pause and try to get mentally centered and focused and not play the occasion, because it's unlike anything he's experienced in his life.
Yeah, he's going to engineer a very up-tempo offense. Remember, the one way you can really help a young quarterback, or I should say inexperienced quarterback, he's not necessarily young, is you run the football. These guys do a great job of running the football. They average over 200 yards a game on the ground. So take some of the heat off of him, get him some easy early completions. Then you forget about the crowd, you just execute.
Now he's 23 years old, very grounded, mature guy. But this is all new for him. Needs help from Kyron Lacey. He's a very tough to tackle back. They fake it to Lacey and flip it in the flat, and that's your big weapon. Daquan Wright, one of my favorite players to watch. You start studying the tape, big fella, rumbling around out there at 255, and he's a great mover.
Yeah, he's been a great addition. You know, it's 6'4". You know, he's able to match the length that Georgia has up in that front seven. I love that call there. He slipped out into the flat, nobody out there with him.
Former Hokie. Play fake, force down, throw far side. Kind of a back shoulder throw to Dejon Stribling, who's the experienced member of this receiving corps.
We have Charlie Weiss Jr. along with Lane Kiffin putting this package together. Glenn Schumann along with Kirby Smart on the other side.
Both Weiss and Kiffin will talk to the quarterbacks, Chambliss in this case, but you got to be brief. It all cuts off, of course, with 15 seconds to go, and they have a lot to say in that time. Looks over. He tried to catch Georgia napping. He'll do that. Look quickly. And checks it down to Lacey. You and Nick Saban had a conversation about that. Didn't change his foot position on that time.
No, he didn't at all. And I think Georgia did a nice job with coverage downfield. You know, one of the things you have to worry about, you mix up the different looks. Here they go. So this is the thing in the SEC. Teams going fast after second down. Makes it tough for Kirby to get the subs in on third down.
Three receivers to the left. Dribbling set off to the right. Chambliss, slant, a dart. It's caught and right near the marker. Catch is made there by Caden Lee. And a steady three-year player. He's the guy that kind of coaches up these new arrivals from the portal in the receiver room. He knows this attack very well.
Yeah, he sure does. And I really love the route there. He did a nice job of getting behind the receiver and did a nice job of using him almost as a screener to be able to get the separation for the first down.
And when Lacey set out far to the left, he's looking to the right. Another very accurate throw. He's putting all the money, and that's Trey Wallace, former Penn State player, played 3 years with the Indy Lions.
Yeah, you get Trey Wallace matched up against C.J. Allen. Allen's a great player, but he's also a middle linebacker out there in space. It's a good matchup, favorable matchup for Ole Miss.
Lacey plows forward incredibly. Credited with 14 forced missed tackles against Washington. That's a huge number against the Cougars last week.
Unbelievable.
Among the leaders in the country.
Yeah, one of the tops in the country. And for a big, rangy back, he does have some quickness and some physicality. Good combination of skill set.
Good looking start with this drive for Ole Miss. Chambliss has time. Backpedals a long throw. Airmailed into the bench. Nobody open. Mom Sherrill has been to every single game since early in high school, football and basketball, home and away. A moment of prayer with her son before the game.
That's special. That's another way to settle the quarterback down, knowing that mom's here with him.
No doubt. 2nd and 10, wide open. Dribbling was kind of ignored. A big cushion there, and that's going to be good enough for another first down. The Dogs 20 before Aguero stopped him.
Yeah, there's that cushion that you alluded to, and it's what Chambliss looked at pre-snap. A lot of what Ole Miss does is pre-snap dictated. He's getting a feel which way he wants to go based on what you see. It's surprised Georgia gave him that cushion, enough yards for the first down. Moving the ball right down the field.
It's a keeper. Chambliss shows quickness and powers ahead for about 8. You'll see him run tactically today. They do it quite frequently.
Yeah, they go with motion there, and you have to respect the motion. But that +1 quarterback run game is a real challenge and factor today for Georgia's defense to have to account for.
Take it to Lacey, launch to the end zone, and trying to come back is Trey Wallace. The coverage was good by Ellis Robinson, the 4th, who gets the start today.
You know, when you defend this, like I said, with +1, nice job there with Ellis Robinson getting his head turned around, expecting that fade in case it's on the money. But you got to hold up on islands against these wide receivers to get the numbers right, to have to account for their run game, especially with the quarterback run game involved.
Timeout on the field. Rebels on the move here. And an injured Bulldog on the field. Let's take a break.
SEC on ABC College Football is presented by Burger King. You rule. And in part by T-Mobile. If you didn't know T-Mobile has home internet, you do now.
Uga 11 doing his trip, rolls from Savannah up to Athens.
Oh, look at, he's looking for Peter. This is Peter in Cincinnati. We did this a couple times down the hallway.
Is Uga 11 met Peter 1 yet?
Peter just turned 2. Just
no, but I mean,
it's Peter. Yeah.
Peter 1. Here we go, 3rd and 3. Kristen Miller helped off. Anchor of that Georgia defensive front, not in the game here. Chambliss out quickly, caught. Lacey, first and goal. Getting the ball out quickly and accurately in this first possession.
And these linebackers are aggressive. C.J. Allen and Raylan Wilson, they're blitzing a lot. Problem is, he's getting the ball out into the flat to tight ends and running backs. 6 completions, and he's hit 5 different receivers. Spreading it around. Kirby going crazy.
Lacey able to run off the left side.
I think Kirby was worried about the edge of the defense. He was pointing like crazy to the other side. He had Ellis Robinson in the corner on an island. But for about 5 or 10 seconds, he's jumping up and down. But the defense is able to hold that edge.
You thought they were going to take a shot that direction?
It could have been. That, or he wanted another guy to come down and help out to the right side of that defense's edge.
Miller back in the game. It was nothing. Logan Diggs, big 220-pounder transfer from Notre Dame and LSU in the backfield. Got to hurry, Chambliss. Play clock at 4. Just gets it off. Fumble! That was messed up. It was a little too kind of sluggish, the operation, and didn't leave much time. And near disaster in the goal line. Ja'Cory Thomas came around. And
even before the read here, he's reading that. Even before that, they created doubt by bringing an attacker down. Then he wants to pull it, and there's the safety Thomas. So Georgia has the back and the quarterback accounted for.
Fumbles have been a problem for this offense. They can't afford them today. 3rd and goal. Diggs still in the backfield. He's never heard crowd noise like this against him. Chambliss is going to take off. Can he get to the pylon? He does, standing up, and Ole Miss right down the field. And this experience at Division II, but all new to this. Quarterback played well, and Chris Cole had a chance to grab him and couldn't.
And Chris Cole came free in the blind side, and there's nobody able to pick him up. And this is what a mobile quarterback can do to any defense. It's your worst nightmare. He just stepped away from it, and then it was a foot race with he and Raylan Wilson to the corner, and he got it.
So Chambliss begins the drive with these accurate short passes, 6 of 9, and finishes it with a touchdown run. His 4th of the year, 2nd leading rusher on this team, showing the skill set and showing the composure.
Yeah, and Chris, a big thing with Georgia has been rushing the quarterback. You got to get after. Here's the AT&T connected clicker. And here's Chris Cole with a chance to do that, right? He's coming off that edge. Nobody picks him up. How about Chambliss finding this and feeling this at the last moment, and then it's a foot race. That's a middle linebacker, Raylan Wilson, right here, who's spying the quarterback. But he gets outrun. Chambliss knew exactly where he wanted to go. Impressively stepped up away from Cole. Then he knew it was him against number 5. Who's going to get to that corner? Uses his speed and the awareness to put Ole Miss up here early.
Can they get near him? You know, he's a rare quarterback. Actually handles pressure really well. His quarterback rating is better when he's pressured than not pressured. That's absolutely unheard of.
It's unheard of, but I think it allows his instincts to take over. And how about that drive? 14 plays, like you mentioned, 65 yards. With a young quarterback, inexperienced quarterback, he accounted for 60 of the 65 yards by himself. That's dealing with that crowd. We all wondered, how would he play in the road in this environment? We just found out the answer right there on the opening drive.
Kind of a crazy trend, too, Kirk. In the SEC, it's 4 of 5 opponents now who have scored touchdowns on their opening possession, including Alabama and Tennessee, who will collide, of course, following us. Get a lean on that one down there in Tuscaloosa, where they've been very tough to beat.
I think Bama's the team that seems to be trending up, playing at home. Ty Simpson playing great. I would lean Bama there.
Sean, Greg, and Molly will have that for you in prime time here on ABC. So Georgia, 3 points in their opening possession. Penalty undid the drive. Now find themselves a possession 2 down, 4 points. Stockton, plenty of time, now fires it short. Dylan Bell was there, but so was a defender. Holly?
Well, guys, Colby Young, who's the second leading receiver for the Georgia Bulldogs, is out right now with an ankle injury. He is one of their top targets. In fact, Mike Bobo is telling us he was trying to target him 10 times a game right now, along with Zachariah Branch. So I'll keep you posted if he's able to return, but that is a big blow for Georgia's offense right now.
Yeah, Holly, sure. He's also a very important part of the run game, very physical blocker on the edge for Georgia. 2nd and 10. Frazier, stutter steps, has to plow straight ahead and run into that Rebel front. But they feel like they can have their way at the line of scrimmage against this defensive group, which is quick but not terribly big.
No, but they like we talked about, they're not big, but they make up for it with quickness and speed. Now Georgia going fast. Like I said, this is a trend all over the SEC, all over the college football. At the end of that 2nd down play, teams are going fast to prevent that nickel or dime package from getting on the field.
Yeah, exactly. It's false tempo because they're not going to run a play quickly, but they stop the Rebels from getting that 3rd down package in. And let's see what they can do on 3rd and 4. Play clock winding down now. And Stockton looking to throw. Now takes off, makes a man miss, and dives for a 1st down.
Defenses, sometimes you have busts. And I think right here and right here, they're not quite on the same page because Oscar Delp, look at this, gone. Nobody in the back end. Now, Gunnar Stockton, to his defense, he's running for his life. But if he would have had time, look at that, complete bust on the back end and a touchdown.
If be more open than that.
That's it. And you only get a couple of those a game. Defense has a meltdown and you miss it. Could come back
it's a 3rd down play, so you want to keep the 6 moving. They go right back to Delp down the middle. This time not quite as open. He took a shot as it was a little too tall for him, that pass.
Yeah, Ole Miss is locked in on the run game. No matter what the down and distance, their eyes are in the backfield. So you're going to get some seams, and it's going to really test the safety and the eye discipline of Ole Miss on the back end. The strength of the Ole Miss defense is the front. Include the linebackers. They've had some issues at corner with some injuries. They're hoping that Chris Graves can hold up. That's 32 on one side. They feel pretty good about Antonio Kite 8 on the other.
I think that was going to be a reverse and handed off to Bowen off the right side. Shows his power. That's a heck of a nice run to set up a 3rd and short here. Picked up 9.
Yeah, that opened up nicely. This offensive line, it's been a challenge for them. Quick.
And they go very quickly on 3rd down, and Stockton easily sneaks it for a 1st down.
I'm just going to say, this offensive line, 6 games, 6 different combinations up front. They've had a ton of injuries. You're playing some true freshmen in Glover and Gaston. A lot of guys have had to play different spots. Ernest Green's been hobbled. Monroe Freeling, a starter on the other side's been hobbled. Even Micah Morris out there playing with some pain. So they have really been challenged up front.
Newsflash, that was Ernest Green, who's had a lingering injury, very talented right tackle. They're not sure if he can have the stamina today to go the distance, but he's out there starting. Branch still running. Very, very tough to bring down. Excellent balance as well as being very twitchy. Picked up 8.
And also some good blocks by London Humphreys and Noah Thomas. Now, coming in, Zachariah Branch is going to get a lot of these quick throws, a lot of the screen game. But you got to, even though it's coming, you still got to go out and execute as a defense and try to deal with it blocking. This as a group, these receivers block as well as any group that I've seen all year.
3 catches already for Brent. Short variety. Bowens easily makes the first down at the Ole Miss 41.
And one of the things that I think we'll see throughout this game, when your advantage for Georgia is your running game against this Ole Miss defense, why not possess the football? Why not keep Lane Kiffin's offense on the sideline? Slow that offense and that up-tempo. Just keep them over there in that bright sun, and you just keep eating this clock as much as you can.
Interesting chess game because tempo they think can be effective, but you're right, in the bigger picture, give that offense fewer at-bats if you can. Stockton, not a great throw. Lawson lucky to tight end. Came back around, twisted to make the catch for 13.
And they got a great group of tight ends with Delp and Lucky and Williams, the freshman. I love the play. It's a heck of an effort. Gives an indication of how athletic Lucky is. He's really a receiver that plays tight end at 6'4", 240.
Stockton again. Pitches it to the edge to Frazier, and he's dragged down. It's going to be a horse collar penalty. They brought him down, grabbing that nameplate. That looked like it was Taj Chambers, the linebacker.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, number 26. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. First down.
I tell you, Chris, he did a really nice job there, all things considered, until just finishing on the play. He came off of the block by Williams, the tight end, used his speed to get out there, but then just could not quite hold the leverage. So he had to reach out there with the right hand and gets the penalty.
You can see why they created that penalty in recent years. I mean, that's a dangerous thing, the way that Frazier's legs looked after he was being yanked to the ground. Set up just inside the 14. Take it to Frazier. And Stockton pitches it. It's Delp who makes the catch on the run. Knocked out of bounds near the 6-yard line. Giving chase with Centurion Perkins, an edge rusher. 7 yards there.
Love the aggressive call by Mike Bobo after the first down. You're inside the 15-yard line. You're in a formation showing that they're probably going to run the ball, but instead breaks the tendency there. Go boot naked back into the boundary, and a heck of a throw there out in front by Gunnar Stockton.
12th play of this drive. Jones in the backfield. Takes the pitch, looking to throw it. And he's just going to be swallowed up. He hesitated, made you think he wanted to chuck it into the end zone. And Xavier Davis said, yeah, you run out of time. Loses 5.
Yeah, great job here just being disciplined. Safety on the back end is going to take away Humphreys in the corner. And you're right, he did want to throw the ball, but the pursuit of that defense completely took everything away.
Sets up a 3rd and 8. Seconds ticking off here in this first quarter. Looks like the Dogs will let that expire. You try for a little trickery, let the running back have a chance to throw it in the end zone there, but it might be a big play for this Ole Miss defense. Dogs on the move, Rebels on top, 7-3, end of 1 on this beautiful day here in Athens, Georgia. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. You're watching the SEC on ABC. Sanford Sadie looking great at 96 years old. A few facelifts over the years, but it's awesome. SEC on ABC presented by Burger King, set for the second quarter. Dogs on the move here. 13th play of this march. Just consumed almost 6 minutes coming up. But it's a 3rd and 8. See if the Rebels can get after Stockton here. Effect the throw. In fact, that's what he does. 2-back look. And now Frazier motions out. Stockton took a look that way. Now launches to the end zone. Wide open is Lucky for the touchdown. Tight ends playing a big part in that drive, and they cap it off.
Well, we talked about missing an opportunity to Oscar Delp on a busted coverage on the back end. And we got another busted coverage here with Zachariah Branch going in motion. It put 3 receivers out to the left for Georgia, and a miscommunication after that motion with the safety and the defender, the corner in the flat.
First touchdown of the season for the junior from Norcross, Georgia. 3 catches by tight ends on that drive. They don't have the one getting close, and then a couple for Lucky. And Peyton Woodring drives it right through. So, collectively, 3 possessions, 3 scoring drives.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, you kick the motion with Branch 1 out. You see Sage Ryan right here. He's trying to communicate, make sure everybody's on the same page. You got 3 receivers out there. 2 defenders come up. Nobody stays on the back end with Lucky. Easy read, but it was all established because of the Bobo motion there to confuse the defense.
Dogs fans have been saying, where are the tight ends? Can we use a tight end? There you go.
Touchdown.
Georgia scores, travels back to work. Stockton 8 for 10. And that touchdown to Lucky. Is he done it again? Kicked the ball out of bounds twice? Wow. High-speed highlights brought to you by T-Mobile 5G home internet. 3 for 3 on 3rd down in that drive.
Yeah, really good opening possession here for the Ole Miss offense. And the quarterback Chambliss there with the poise on 3rd down. We saw a lot of quick throws. Get the ball up here. Another job of stepping up away from the pressure of Chris Cole and then the speed to get to the corner, outrunning it, Raylan Wilson for that touchdown. So I know he hadn't played a lot of big-time college football. He won a national championship at Ferris State, but I'll tell you what, that guy looks like he's seen a lot. And there's the crowd. His entire season, 70,000, 93,000 today.
Came in, competed, wasn't the starter of Ferris State till his last year there, but he says he was really well schooled. That's a great program. 3 of the last 4 years, they've won the D2 national championship. Off the fake, Chambliss throws it across the middle, and there's that big tight end. Daquan Wright is a problem, and Georgia hasn't solved it yet.
Now you got your eyes in the backfield. You better be careful. That was Justin Williams that time, the middle linebacker. He just for a second looking at the quarterback and allowed the tight end to pull away from him.
Number 2 in the FBS coming into this game as far as receiving yards by a tight end. And now trying to get it back, shoulder throw to Deuce Alexander, misfired. Balin Everett in coverage.
Well, this is a very challenging offense to deal with. The tempo is obviously a big part of it. The different formations, they give you a lot of pre-snap movement. They've got polling linemen. You got jet sweep action. It really can impact your eyes and slow you down.
Not subbing much either, but Georgia couldn't do so. Hitting the pressure, Chambliss flushed, running for his life. And now pitches it way back behind the line to Wright. And Daquan Wright up and running. He avoided a disaster a couple of times there. Cole eventually gets him down.
Well, it started with Kewan Lacey picking up a blitz right up the middle. And then, you know, the problem with Georgia all year is they cannot get after the quarterback. Especially a mobile guy like this. His eyes are everywhere. And eventually he checks it down the right to give him a shot here on 3rd and 3. And he's got that whistle going over there.
Still trying to gesture to Chambliss.
That's a timeout.
Yeah. The whistle, he says, is pretty loud. It can penetrate most crowds. It's a challenge today, but Kiffin spends one here on this 3rd down play coming up. I've talked about this with Chambliss. Very rare. Under pressure, his QBR is 8 points higher. The accuracy goes on a little bit, Kirk, but he's made a lot of big plays, and the blitz has not bothered him at all so far in his Ole Miss career.
Now, right now, he looks like what I like to call as a flatliner. He's not intimidated. He's not hurrying. He doesn't appear stressed at all. Here comes another 3rd down opportunity for him. 3 and 3.
Only pressured him twice, and they've tried to come after him frequently here. Appears so composed in this noise, kind of making the shifts. They're going to try to run for it. Lacey, he's going to be stopped right near the marker. They say it's enough for a 1st down before C.J. Allen tackled him.
How about that? What a good sign on 3rd and short for Ole Miss. Good execution up front. Like we talked about earlier in the broadcast, Lacey is a powerful downhill guy between the tackles. Has juice to be able to get to the second and third level, but get those tough yards to keep a drive alive.
He's worked hard on ball security. You know, Allen, who made that tackle, those guys are very capable of punching the ball out. Something to keep an eye on today. Low throw, and it's picked up there by Danilo Jones. They're saying incomplete. He's trying to sell the interception hard, but officials aren't buying.
I thought it got into the receiver. Just went through. Yeah, it got in there. Ball's on the ground. Good job of selling it by Jones. That was a drop there by Harrison Wallace, who's been the most reliable receiver in the first half of this season. Transferred from Penn State.
Also the punt returner.
7 guys walked up. Remember, Georgia not rushing the quarterback like they typically do this year.
The time they back everybody out except for 3. He squeezes it into Trey Wallace, and it's a 12-yard gain and another first down.
Squeezes it in. Katavius Johnson almost with the interception. Got really close to at least getting a hand on the ball, but because Chambliss got it out so quickly, he was able to get it for that first down.
Another good-looking drive from the Rebels. Option look, Lacey. And the Dogs string it out and drop him for a short loss. They were ready for that run game wrinkle. Gabe Harris off the edge made the play.
Well, that was a couple things there. Trinidad Chambliss has got to attack the defensive end much better. He just kind of gave up on it, pitched it off of Gabe Harris. Gabe Harris ended up going down the line and making a play, and then a poor block on top of that by the receiver.
Winston Watkins, the receiver, was in the backfield. They pitch it downfield to him, and he's wide open. A little wrinkle. They put the receiver in the backfield, and the Dogs totally lost track of it.
Well, like we saw, Ole Miss have a miscue. Here's a miscue as well with 2 Georgia defenders coming up into the flat. Gave a huge opening up and over top of that. Chambliss sees it, puts the ball right on the money.
Slot receiver, who as a freshman has an advanced grasp of this complicated offense, makes a nice play, sets him up 4th and goal. Lacey reaches and is going to be spotted short, they say. KJ Bolden holding on to him, apparently kept him out of the end zone.
Just couldn't quite get the ball extended to the goal line. I think he came up a little bit short. See how the ball's behind him, and by the time he touched, he's down at about the 6-inch line.
Lacey, easy. Bulldogs give up a second touchdown to Ole Miss. 2 possessions, 2 scores. They go back on top.
In the trenches, these short yardage opportunities they've had. Towns in the left guard, 51, and Sanders, the center, 62. Both right in the middle. Watch the blocks that they have. 51 will kind of kick out to his left. 62 comes into the inside. And they create a nice, easy crease there to get that short yard for the touchdown.
This touchdown drive, 10 plays, 65 yards. 130 yards for the Rebels in their first 2 possessions here on the road.
14-play drive and a 10-play drive. I mean, they can't play football today. Ole Miss is ready to roll.
They've heard the rap. This offense isn't very good away from home. This guy's never had a start like this.
Really?
Dunking on the Dogs' defense.
SEC on ABC is presented by Burger King. The Monster Menu is now at Burger King, and it's frightfully fun for all families. Sink your teeth into the new Monster Menu at BK. You rule.
Lane's offense against Kirby's defense. They do go back to that 2015 Nick Saban staff, opposing coordinator, so they went at it in practice. And the athletic trivia question asking us how many guys off that 2015 staff are now current FBS head coaches, including interim. Interim, they included that. Okay. Ponder that for a second. Juwan Lacey with the touchdown run. Interesting. He almost went to Ole Miss, decided late on Mizzou. Lane Kiffin said, "I'll see you next year." He was right. He just kind of never got going in Columbia. Really wasn't a big part of the running game. Now he's really the only running back who carries the ball for Ole Miss.
And he came back to a school that really needed it. Last year they had a committee. They had a bunch of backs. They ended up losing 7 of the top 8 backs that they had last year. Think about it. In fact, if you go back, they lost 7 of the top 9 pass catchers for their offense. The entire new offensive line, new quarterback, lose Jackson Dart. And this is the offense that they have this year.
You add in today's carries, 138. Nobody else on this team has more than 18 carries as a running back. Stockton, meanwhile, has plenty of time on first down and makes a low throw. London Humphreys, reliable, clutch target, sliding catch for 11.
Ole Miss crowding the line. Linebackers blitzing. Safeties downhill. Man-to-man on the back end. And it took Gunnar Stockton there to improvise and find his receiver late. Ole Miss got to do a better job of keeping him in the pocket, not letting him get out and create.
Frazier testing the right side. And they create a little space over there. Picks up about 3.
We've seen both the true freshmen playing at right guard. Glover 63, Juan Gaston out there now 73. They moved Glover actually over to the left side for this drive in for Micah Morris. So even within the game, you're seeing some mix and match. But at this point, 2 true freshmen in at both guard spots.
Dwight Phillips, the speedster in the backfield. Stockton is thinking downfield. Fires over the head of Noah Thomas and the DBs. TJ Banks was the closest one who were covering him.
Well, got the ref there. Let's watch the safety behind him, 7. See how he turns his body? Stockton thought he had the post, but then by the time he came back to it, Banks had worked himself back to the middle of the field, so he read the body language where he turned, thought he had the big play, and it almost cost him.
3rd and 7. Dogs 3 for 4 so far. Didn't have a 3rd down conversion against Auburn until the 4th quarter. They're going to try to run for it and get it. Bowen just barrels into Ole Miss territory. Big shunt play to convert 3rd and 7. Got 17.
Yeah, what a call here. And what a job by this offensive line. There's 73, the freshman. Bobo climbing up to that linebacker who was coming from the left all the way over to the right. They just didn't have anybody. They were thin on that side, and good job by Georgia recognizing that and getting the right call there on 3rd and long.
Don't be thin on one side when Bowens is coming at you. He is a hard dude to bring down. He's got it again. This time they clog it up, and they're going to stop him for a loss there. Cam Franklin off the edge. Rebels claiming they took the football away, but the whistle had blown.
Zachariah Branch, such a big factor in this game today. Every game for Georgia. It's really an extension of their run game when they go to those quick screens to get him the ball as fast as they can. Just trying to get the ball out in space.
One of his great attributes is he's got great stamina. He can stay out there, doesn't need to be subbed out much, brings great energy all the time. Across the middle, catch is made. Dylan Bell, who's been waiting to make impact plays this season, beginning to now inside the 25.
Here's what he's really trying to figure out. Where's his safety? How much depth does he have? Can I get this in front of him? Good job by Bell working back to the football. Allowed him to be able to make that throw. That was into a tight window. But Bell's experience of coming back to the football gives him that completion.
Stockton continues to be sharp, 10-13. Now, Bellamy end around and use him in a variety of ways. Maybe not as a passer. Tried to throw a pass to Branch, and it would have been a touchdown. He was badly overthrown. This is more what his wheelhouse is, I think.
Yeah, you're right. And I think with Colby Young down, Dylan Bell is a guy that you and I have been calling Georgia games for a few years now. And I feel like Bell is a guy that's been around for a long time, almost more of a running back skill set that play him out at receiver.
Before that, calling South Carolina games where he was a very versatile player before he got here. You've seen Dylan Bell a long time. Keeper, Stockton, headed for the end zone. Touchdown, Dogs. They answer right back. Here we go. Back and forth.
And you see Lane Kiffin frustrated there with his defense. What a job, by the way, of Gunnar Stockton. First of all, just getting the snap was a lot.
Longest run in Gunnar Stockton's career, 22. And the Dogs quickly march it 75 yards in 8 plays, less than 4 minutes, and reclaim the lead. 5 possessions between them, 5 scoring drives.
Yeah, he's reading the off-ball linebacker, Jaden Yates, number 30. And by making the right read here, he's got to react quickly to it because watch on the outside. So he makes the right read with the backer following the back. Now he's got to avoid the outside defensive end. And then he's just so comfortable in the open space.
Hey, punters, Red Thorson, Oscar Bird, y'all take the day off. Scoring points here in Athens. Both quarterbacks clicking, both offenses humming so far here in Athens. Midway second quarter. Neither has been stopped. Who's going to get the first service break today? Ole Miss's turn. 2 65-yard touchdown drives because kickoffs went out of bounds. This time, better job from Woodring. And Hartrup makes the fair catch.
Well, if you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot of offense. I mean, every time each team has had the ball, we've seen points up on the board. Georgia able to take advantage of a bust on the back end, but Ole Miss responded quickly and reached the touchdown. If you're just tuning in, Gunnar Stockton on his own read. Good job of reading it. So natural and comfortable in the open space with his legs. Both these teams have emphasized starting fast. Maybe both offenses got the message. They haven't seen the defenses yet step up and make very many plays.
I will wonder, can Glenn Schumann, Kirby Smart make some adjustments before halftime? What can they do to slow down Trinidad Chambliss? On the edge, pitch down, and the catch is made by Caleb Oden, the tight end, and he rumbles for a nice game, picks up a first down. Holly?
Kirby Smart spent about 6 minutes talking to the secondary. He's trying to get things fixed there quickly. Primarily DeMello Jones, who they've moved into a new position, and Jonel Aguero. They're just having too many busts in the back end. Kirby trying to get it fixed in real time on the iPad.
Yeah, good stuff, Holly. DeMello playing the star position. Kyron Jones, the free safety, out of the game. Couldn't go today. Lacey, hesitation, stutter step, picks up about 3 before C.J. Allen got him.
This defensive front, you wonder, how do you make things tougher on Chambliss? You win early downs. I mean, they are in command because even when they do get the third down, it's 3rd and short. It's been a problem for Georgia most of the year.
Cushion on the far side, and catch is made from the second straight play by Oldham, and that's enough for a first down.
Yeah, it's just pretty simple when you see that kind of cushion. You can just come out instead of reading the entire defense and waiting for the play to develop. You just take it, take the yards, take the first down.
Empty backfield now. Chambliss directing traffic. And now Lacey goes in motion. And Chambliss pitches far side. Tried it once again to find Odom. This time off his hands.
He kind of gave up on the route. It would have been a tough play anyway. It was really good tight coverage this time by Georgia. Aguero that time was out there. Really known more for his physicality when they put him in that spot. But that time, good tight coverage on the tight end.
Odom kind of a hybrid tight end. He's only 235. But an excellent catch radius. And run after the catch. Georgia did win on first down this time. Reverse on the run is Deuce Alexander. Couldn't quite get ahead of Seam. Aguero there to trip him up. Another third down coming up.
So here we go. This week did a lot of fast tempo. The coordinators are working on the sideline. There's Glenn Schumann at the bottom. Lane Kiffin at the top doing the whistle. He wants to slow it down. Now he wants to see what Georgia's in. Glenn Schumann's waiting to kind of find out what Ole Miss is going to end up in formationally so he can get his call in.
Kiffin's offense 4 for 4 on third so far. Lacey goes in motion. Chambliss takes off. Can he escape? He does. He reaches the ball near where the pylon is. As he crossed out of bounds, it's enough for a first down on the scramble.
Boy, is he looking as comfortable as he can look. Spinning the football. Good job of showing the strength there to be able to pull out of that potential tackle. And that's what freed him up to get to the corner for the first.
I am low-key blown away by how he's playing in this environment. His first FBS road start is in Sanford Stadium, and he has been nearly flawless so far. That's Stribling in his 47th start in college football. Bounced around Wazoo, Oak State. He's been a good receiver wherever he's gone.
And it right now makes it a little bit easier when you get that soft coverage. Georgia now look at the corners, taking away those easy throws.
And they try to bring pressure, but it's picked up. Launch to the corner, and a flag comes out. He doesn't know it yet, but Ellis Robinson may be penalized here as he tried to defend Alexander.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty on the previous spot.
Had Georgia 3 times. We had him in Knoxville. We had him here against Alabama. And now today, he never gets his head turned. The biggest problem with Ellis Robinson is
they're booing, but
he's not doing a good job of being in phase. When you're in phase, it means you're stride for stride with the receiver. And it allows you, when the ball's in the air, to read his eyes and to be able to get your head turned and find the football. He's a step or 2 behind, playing catch-up, never is able to find the football, and he runs into the receiver. We've seen it all year.
End around Alexander, and a couple blockers out there kind of stumbled as he tried to cut it upfield. Picks up about 4. Yeah, Kirby's working overtime here.
You're just not used to seeing Georgia's defense, not just today. They've been a different defense, to their credit, in the second half of most games, but
we kind of get more used to it this year, though, right? This is what Alabama did, 10-6.
Who they are until they change it.
Alexander again cuts it back and picks up just a couple. It's going to be another 3rd down play here.
Yeah, so they're 5 for 5. Here's what they've averaged: 4.8 yards on those 5 3rd downs. And now here they are, 3rd and 4. So if I'm defending them, you got to make sure you spy or leverage the quarterback scramble. Whether it's the design run or quarterback legs are a big factor right here.
No tempo here. They slowed it down, substituted. Gives Georgia a chance to get their fresh people on. Trey Wallace in the backfield takes the pitch. Looking to throw it. Lobs it into the back of the end zone to Stribling. A flag is down along the end line. He thinks he caught it and stayed in. It's defensive holding is what Kiffin is signaling.
Wallace showed pass right away.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. By rule, the foul occurred in the end zone. The ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
He strung this out. Harrison Wallace took this as far as he could. Let's see if he's got possession of the football. Never had possession. But they did the holding call, so it's a first down.
Austin Simmons, the backup quarterback, backup for now, is in the slot to the right. Motions around, they fake it to him. It's pure trickery, and Chambliss barrels forward and stops short of the goal line, giving Kirby something else to think about now.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see that very often. Here we are worrying about, was it a PI? Did he get his foot down? And meanwhile, you bring in Austin Simmons in, put him out at the slot.
Not what you had in mind when you said he was going to play football today.
Now he's a quarterback.
This is really interesting. Bringing in Cole from the half-yard line. Chambliss goes in motion this time, and he just barrels in. Lacey on the direct snap, so a lot going on, and Ole Miss finishes another touchdown drive to go back on top.
14-play drive, 10-play drive, 11-play drive for Ole Miss to open this game up. And the biggest thing that would concern me if I were Georgia is what's going on at the line of scrimmage. Now, you would think Georgia against Ole Miss, you would think that the way they recruit and develop defensive linemen, that they're going to win that battle. And if they're going to win this game, they've got to win the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Ole Miss winning that battle for now and executing brilliantly. Still haven't failed on third down. Still have not been stopped from getting to the end zone.
Now here's the AT&T connected clicker. Yeah, they're down right inside the 1 yard line, but I think it's just a surge. Look at the push. That left side, 61, 51. The center, 62. Good job of just pushing, mauling people back. Easy touchdown.
So Austin Simmons, who's been battling an ankle injury, and that's when Chambliss is taken off like a rocket ship, comes in for a couple plays. They put him in the slot, fake it to him, then line him up behind the guard, trying to fool Georgia, I guess, in the direct snap to Lacey. So it's never dull when Lane Kiffin's calling plays.
That's remarkable to come on the road and go 14, 10, and 11 with 3 touchdowns.
But you're right, though. Georgia fans stunned, but getting more used to seeing this, because Alabama came in here with Ty Simpson flawless in the first half on third down, and they did something similar.
Yep.
And the Dogs answer again. Let's check in with Kevin Nagandi. Faster and furious here between the hedges, Kevin.
Catch your breath there, Chris. Capital One halftime report minutes away. Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi here. Diego Pavia does something we haven't seen at Vandy in 75 years. Highlights and reaction coming your way right now. The #1 team in the country. That is Ohio State and their offense in action against Wisconsin. And we got Julian Sand here, Boog, doing this. You don't have Jeremiah Smith open, so you find Carnell Tate.
Yeah, Tate's on a big day, Kev. 4 catches, almost 100 yards, couple of touchdowns. Big day for the other receiver.
17-0 Buckeyes. Chris, back to you.
All right, Kevin, thanks. 4th possession for the Dogs. Field goal and 2 touchdowns so far. Frazier off to the left side. Offensive line of the Dogs is kind of doing a decent job so far, would you say? 2-minute timeout. Dogs trying to get something going here, but the Rebels offense has been unstoppable behind Trinidad Chambliss. Who are you? You don't have to ask that. So many famous faces, so many legends on both sides of this rivalry. And an exciting addition here. 38 points scored in the first 28 minutes of the ball game. Dogs take over, 2nd and 6, trying to once again answer. Neither defense has gotten a stop, and Stockton off the play fake. On the run is Delp, and ahead of steam. Ball perfectly placed, and he's got a nice gain of about 19.
So often we see this play where you just kind of sneak out of the backfield. The blind side, the defense a lot of times just loses that backside tight end out in the flat. Georgia has been a resilient team all year long. Ole Miss gets the ball to start the second half. An important drive here for the Dogs, the way this game is going.
Tight ends continue to play a big role. They're winning those matchups against the Ole Miss linebackers so far. This Frazier, solid gain of 7 off the left side. Williams stopped him.
I thought we'd see a lot more of that. Run the football, control the line of scrimmage, eat the clock, time of possession, keep Chambliss and Ole Miss on the sideline. Now they're going to do that for obvious reasons here. Like we said, Ole Miss does get the ball to start the second half. So you're taking points, but you don't want to go too quick.
Pretty good run-pass balance for Georgia. You just let it be more run-heavy, right? Stockton on the pump fake and has to just throw it away. That time Delp was well covered. They put a faster guy on him. They put the nickel Williams on the tight end that time.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about how this tight end often can appear and then just kind of sneak out. Well, this time the safety right away just kind of sees that and comes downhill, anticipating that potential threat out into the flat.
Your point's a great one, Kirk. Listen, 3rd and 3 here. You don't convert it. Rebels get the ball here with a chance to add, and of course we'll get it to begin the second half, as you said. Stockton was looking downfield on 3rd and 3, and now pitches it short for a first down. Pitch made by Branch.
Awesome job by Branch. He was going downfield and then came back. Was able to see if he completed the process of that catch for the first down. I thought he might turn in that scramble drill and go down the sideline, but he worked his way back.
Monroe Freeling, the tough guy, left tackle. Not that many reps in practice. Didn't have many last week. Goes out and plays. It's testament to his ability as a veteran to kind of grab things. And once again, he's on the field.
I think he got stepped on that time. That's why he's kind of flexing that left foot. The man Mielin. Watch it, number 1 step right there. He steps on his foot. So took him down. But you're right. He's been dealing. Anytime you miss all the week of practice and they still let you play, it tells you the confidence they have in your experience, and you can pick it up. He should be back.
So Georgia does convert now inside the Rebels' 40-yard line. These offenses have been incredibly efficient. Kirk combined 10 of 11, 1 third down stop so far. That's it.
Yeah, 5 lead changes.
Yep.
And so it's back and forth and back and forth. Bo Hughley comes in, the swing tackle in at the left tackle spot.
3 receivers off of that left side. Bowens is the back. Bowens has the ball, and that time Rebels clog it up. Will Eccles is just a terrific defensive tackle, rushing the passer and stopping the run, makes the play there. We didn't answer the athletic trivia question yet. Talked about Kiffin and Kirby Smart off that Saban 2015 championship coaching staff.
Lanning on that?
Cristobal and Napier, remember, because we had that matchup earlier. They were on it. Lanning.
And Lanning.
Was a GA.
I'm guessing Signetti maybe on that staff.
And here was the tricky one. Mort's son, Chris Morton's son, Alex Mortensen, the interim coach at UAB. So he was a grad assistant on that Saban staff. That guy could spot talent. That Nick guy that sits over there on the desk.
Pretty good.
He could really spot talent.
Pretty
coaching him.
Good.
Yeah. I enjoy your segments with him on game day. It's
I love that.
Kind of a change of pace segment there, but it's good. You guys are serious football. I like it.
All right?
Yeah, no, it's perfectly all right.
I love it. I've had more coaches call me.
They enjoy it.
They love listening to him. Coach him up.
It's not obvious stuff. It's deep.
Next level.
Yeah, next level. 101 and a half, 2nd and 7 for the Dogs. Frazier finds a crease, a little hesitation. They're waiting for it to open. He's going to be knocked down 2 yards short of the marker. Clock running at 50 seconds.
Still got the 2 timeouts. They're very confident that they're going to get into field goal range, but you might pick up the pace here a little bit now. This is not an offense that's made a lot of big plays vertically in their pass game.
Watch the middle. Lucky, those tight ends continue to find space and make plays. He's inside the 25.
Yeah, they're going to hit their 2nd timeout. I thought Kirby started to, but when that first down clock stops, they're going to be able to get up there and get this ball snapped.
Let's not get into the timeout. Did he signal it or not?
No.
Short pitch, and the catch is made by Branch. Gets out of bounds. Still goes 2 timeouts and 24 seconds to work with.
Branch is so quick at the line of scrimmage, so tough. You give him the option to go in or out. It just freezes defenders. They're so respectful of that quickness. Usually play him off.
Not much deception. He really doesn't work downfield. Not many medium range. They're all at or behind the line, but that twitchiness allows him to get separation. He's really great after the catch, obviously.
Who's going to get downfield here? Noah Thomas is off to the quarterback's left. London Humphreys far right.
Stockton trying to buy time. On the move, nobody open, and he just throws it away. He used up some time there, down to 17 seconds, and 3rd and 7 now.
But the defense, you'll see it's kind of a glance route here. And, it's easy to say, make this throw. That frees up here, but look at this defensive back working. You go down that right sideline, and you can put the ball up there, too. So, couple open receivers We just said, can they get the ball thrown vertically? And he had a couple options there, the inside there to the tight end, and then Humphreys down the right sideline for a touchdown.
Stockton normally much better after halftime, but he's been efficient in the first half. Time is now a factor here. And I was going to say, he takes off. They do have the 2 timeouts. He's short of it. They're going to have to spend it. If they're thinking end zone and not field goal attempts, we're down to 9 seconds here.
Wow.
And it's 4th down.
Yep, 4th down.
So he didn't, by not making the first down, that makes the decision.
You see that? So that's awesome. That's a win. He's not thinking just about this drive. He's thinking about the entire game. He just got to stop, kept him out of the end zone. Maybe it's 21-20. They get the ball to start the second half. That's why you get the reaction. You read his lips. He said, awesome.
On the other side, if you're Georgia, that's a win. It's strike up the band. They didn't score a touchdown. It's a field goal attempt.
Right. Watch him. Awesome. That's awesome.
So here comes Woodring.
Strike up.
Hey, we kept him out of the end zone. I mean, there were no stops by the defense in the first half. Georgia settling for what they hope will be their second field goal of the half. Bombed it from 51 earlier. This is just from 35 yards. Timeout Ole Miss. Any field goal attempt or kick attempt by an opponent, you got to keep an eye on big number 51 for the Rebels. Great defensive lineman, Xavier Harris, but he's a kick blocker extraordinaire. I mean, he's not 6'7". He's every bit of 6'8", and he gets the arms up, and he's long, and he's blocked 1 this year, but he's blocked 6 in his career. That was early on. It was against Georgia State, but the dude is a problem blocking kicks.
For a big guy, he does a nice job of being able to penetrate to give him a chance of getting that hand up to knock it away. It's not just he's standing there at 6'8". He's working upfield there.
By the way, it's second in SEC history. One more, and he would share of the conference record for most career blocks.
Set him up. Let's see what the big fella can do here.
Woodring is known for getting the kicks up pretty quickly. Doesn't typically have problems getting blocked. And that one is up and good. So as time expires in a really entertaining and offensive-dominated first half, Kirby Smart, you can see him take the headset off. They got some problems to solve at this halftime because Trinidad Chambliss up and down the field. Stockton's been matching it. Rebels will get the ball after halftime, but 21-20 in this top 10 showdown between the hedges in the SEC. Let's go to Holly.
Well, Coach, where do you start to solve some of your defensive challenges right now?
Number one, you got to tackle better. So we've had about 3 plays that we got them behind the sticks, that if we tackle them, it's going to bring up 3rd long and give us a chance to get out the field. The other thing is the PIs. We're donating 15 yards every time we get a pass interference. But they've done a good job. Both offenses have.
Your quarterback continues to extend drives and be so tough in there for you and keep their offense off the field. What do you see from Gunner?
He's done a great job managing the game, making some throws. The play he made on his feet to break 2 tackles, incredible play. They were in the perfect call for that. They brought somebody for the dive and the quarterback, and he made a miss.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Stockton 14 of 19, 22-yard touchdown run. Chambliss super efficient running and a touchdown run himself. 21-20. The Capital One halftime report is coming up right now. Back to Kevin Nagandi.
Someone was doing a story and like Lane Kiffin would be the most intriguing person to actually know the real stories of all the stops and all the interactions of what really happened. I was like, that's probably true.
Yeah, that's why we called you, wanted to do this.
2 thumbs up. Highly recommend that. You'll learn something about Kiffin you didn't know. Welcome back to the SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King. Kiffin's offense, 3 touchdown drives to begin the ball game, and they'll be getting the football here momentarily to begin the second half. 21-20 is the lead. We're just settling for a couple of field goals. No punts, 7 possessions. Chris and Kirk back with you. So, second half. We know what happens typically. Kirby Smart makes those adjustments. The defense much better after the break. Is that pattern going to hold, or is Ole Miss going to go up and down the field again?
I mean, you assume that they're going to play better and at least force the punter from Ole Miss to come out. But this first half, it has just been all Trinidad Chambliss with the flow of this offense. You see the quick throws, pre-snap motion, making the Georgia defense really testing their eye discipline, getting them out of position, the accuracy when it's had to make throws. And, of course, this is the most difficult thing to defend, the ability to improvise and create, whether he takes off and runs or buys time to make throws. I'm fired up to see, because there is a pattern. Georgia's starting slow, and second half, like last week again against Auburn, it's a different team. Can they make those adjustments again?
Yeah, 40 yards is all the Tigers got at halftime. I understand this Ole Miss offense is better than that, but there's a strong history and pattern. Chambliss incomplete. Trying to find Daquan Wright. Holly, what do you have?
Talking to Lane Kiffin coming out of the tunnel, I asked him about the composure of his quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, and he said, you know, I keep telling him it's just like you're on the bottom of the ocean. It's calm. The storm is swirling up top, but you can't hear it or feel it. Stay at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, just have a scuba tank. You run out of breath quickly there. Deep breathing is what he said he does to kind of stay calm, but he's looked plenty calm. I don't know if he needs to go namaste, Zen out there. Just keep doing what you're doing if you can. Uh-oh, breaking free. Dribbling in a foot race. Down the sideline. An electric touchdown. Ole Miss still perfect. 75 yards. They've been methodical the first three drives, Kirk. This time, boom, 2 plays.
And Lane Kiffin, who's fired up, he saw something from the sideline. He's known for his ability to communicate. I just happened to be watching him during the play live. He was jumping up and down, trying to get the attention of Trinidad Chambliss, and then finally he got it. He had his hand up on top of his head. Then he starts to jump up and down, making the check. Chambliss saw him.
He's done that his whole career as a play caller, hasn't he?
And I think what he felt was pretty obvious. With 7 guys walked up, here he is right here trying to get Chambliss's attention. He wants what he wants. He sees man coverage right here. Soft corner. Makes the check, get the tight end down. You look at all those red jerseys. They're up close, ready to blitz. Get the ball out fast. Now make one guy miss. Make a miss, and now it's a foot race. And there's Lane right there. Oh, what? You got to show Lane. He's involved in a foot race. There he is. Come on, Lane. Let's go. Get it up there.
The guy with the football's had some pretty good speed, too, for Ole Miss, but nobody faster than Stribling. Well-traveled guy, 1,000-yard receiver at Wazoo and Oklahoma State, and he just pivoted and was gone.
And you know what I think he loves about this team that feels different? In the past, he's always, throughout his career at Alabama, going all the way back to SC, he's had 1 or 2 guys that they always got the ball to. Stribling makes a great play, but you got Wallace, you got Lee, you got Alexander, you got Watkins, you got Wright. It's a totally different offense because they're not forcing the ball to a couple guys. They're just full field, read, make the ball go to the right guy at the right time.
It's so balanced. Off to the left here.
There he is, jumping up and down. He saw exactly what he wanted, and the main thing is he sees this. Man coverage, big cushion. He has confidence that the blitz is coming. Get it out. Now let's just make one guy miss.
Yeah, Dalen Everett's going to have a tough day at the film. That way he was kind of stuck in quicksand.
Cover 0. Nobody in the back to help out. A good call there. Works out. Good way to start the second half.
4 for 4. All the Rebels touchdowns. Bowens. Georgia, though, on their end, has been able to answer. Biggest deficit now of 8. Picks up 12 yards there.
Yeah, Pete Goulding, the other side of the ball, Ole Miss's defense, he's trying to come up with his own answers. It's not like Georgia didn't have a good first half themselves offensively. Really, it's going to come down. There's Pete right there. It's really going to come down to which defense can come up, not just with a stop. Can somebody come up with a turnover? Something's got to give on one of these defenses, I think, at some point.
Are you sure? Bowens, another chunk of yards there. Picks up 6 on first down.
I'll keep going back to what I said in the opening drive. Georgia's best defense today is Glenn Schumann, a defense coordinator from Georgia. Their best defense today is going to be their own offense. trying to possess the ball.
Possess the ball, but you better get points the way things are going. Bowen makes a nice move there, quickly kind of reverse field. Ducked up inside. Perkins, Yates got him down, but he moved to 6 again.
Keep in mind, Colby Young went down, not returned. That's their one really good vertical threat downfield. You still have London Humphreys, 16 out there, but because you don't have that vertical threat with a 6'4" Colby Young, it's a little bit more, even more dink and dunk, and have to drive the ball for Georgia.
Play fake. Stockton launches downfield, out over the head, and flags come in. Ellis Williams is a big 6'7" tight end, and he's a weapon, an emerging guy.
Defense, number 3.
Sage Ryan,
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Williams, a good-looking freshman. He's 6'7", and Sage Ryan grabs onto that jersey right there as he starts to pull away. Very handsy. Right hand even involved, grabbing onto the hip. It's a tough matchup for Ryan at 6 feet tall with 6'7" tight end.
Here's this look. Frazier and 2 tight ends in the backfield. They pitch it to one of them. That's a little wrinkle. Oscar Delp snuck free. They didn't see him.
Yeah, that is a little bit different. You have not seen that. Forced Ole Miss, they had 8 guys up close to the line of scrimmage, and Delton just slid out. Nobody picked him up.
Both offenses, to their credit, if you look at it, confused defenses, giving the defense a lot to think about. These formations and motions, high-level play calling. Rebels bring pressure. Frazier broke 1 tackle. And another, that's a win on first down. He picks up 5 more.
Micah Morris picked up a blitz like we've seen all day. Ole Miss, when you get down in about the inside the 30, you're going to start seeing those 2 inside linebackers blitz. That time they fired. Micah Morris did a really good job just coming out of his stance, being able to deal with T.J. Dottery there.
Now it's a 3-man rush, and Stockton has time and zips it in there to Kobe Humphreys came back in it, went a little curl. He does really well. Picked up 9.
Ball out on time. Really good route. Nice job of coming back and using his hands to make that catch by Humphreys, who, of course, transferred last year over from Vanderbilt. Big answer for Georgia if they can finish this drive.
Bowens gets downhill. They are really mauling the Rebels up front now with the run game. They get 5-6 yards every first down carry.
And Green is still out there fighting. You know, we've seen him in and out. Juan Gaston has gone from, as a true freshman guard, went in at times for Green at right tackle. Right now, Green is in there, but you're right, what they are pushing Ole Miss around.
Hard to stop this offense or any offense when you get in a chunk play like that consistently on first down. Stockton resetting the protection. Turns and hands it to Bowen to the left. Makes a cut. And they're grabbing at the football. They can't get it. First and goal. Perkins dropped him for another 5-yard gain.
What a luxury to have Bowens and Frazier. Actually, they have 5 backs that they use. And the big fella, I was about to mention him, Josh McCray, who's their short yardage back, is now into the game with the ball at about the 3-yard line.
Team from Illinois, learning more and more of the offense. One thing he does naturally is run downhill and power into the end zone. The game winner against Tennessee. Touchdown! They zip it across the middle. Lawson Lucky, his second today. Tight ends have waited to make a big impact. And Lucky has done, as well as Delp. 2 points away from tying the game. Offense out there, of course.
He motions down, and you have Delp here, you have Lucky here, And again, you got a defense with their eyes in the backfield, really worried more about what was going on with McCray checked in. I think they were just thinking with that motion, that's going to be a toss sweep. The entire defense flowed, almost expecting that toss sweep, and opened it up pretty easy for Lucky in the back of the end zone.
Remind you, they are going for Dos, brought to you by Dos Equis. This to tie the game. Got one at Tennessee early, the only one they've tried this season. That's Jones in motion. Stockton backs the ball, spins free, scanning the end zone, and he'll be dropped by Sunterian Perkins. So the sack stops the two-point try and preserves the lead.
You know, Cash Jones left. He came out of the backfield in motion. Nobody went with it all by himself. If he would have just flipped it out there, it's a two-point conversion. Here's the touchdown. Good job getting the ball out, finding the receiver. Austin Lucky for the touchdown.
I saw the same thing, and I wonder why he didn't look over to his right. Nothing but grass in front. Jones and Perkins with Giffen well out on the field. Makes the play. Ole Miss ball. You come back. Lawson Lucky's second touchdown catch of the afternoon. And the failed two-point try keeps it 28-26 Ole Miss. Georgia still looking for the first stop. Guys, All-State plus here. Sam Mitchell getting it. Short trip down to Athens. What's the All-State Good Hands play this weekend?
Well, the game last night, so many good moments. Carson Bell, just a difficult night. Had a chance late, maybe a game-time field goal. T.J. Capers with a fingertip interception. Beck's fourth pick of the night. And the Louisville Cards and Jeff Brom with a monumental win against the Canes.
Great job by Brom. I think Beck seemed to intimate that that was on the tight end there. They didn't run the proper route. Not sure that many quarterbacks would say that after a game, but Michael bounce back. Pitch on the edge. Trey Wallace, another catch, another efficient start to a drive.
It was about 575 yards of total offense, combined yards, 54 points, 36 first downs. We still have 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, 9:45 to go in the third quarter.
There's some firsts for Kirby Smart coach defense that are not good. First time he went the whole half and didn't get a single stop at Georgia or as defensive coordinator under Nick Saban. It's the first time Georgia's allowed touchdowns in the first four opponents' possessions at home under Kirby.
Unbelievable. They've been searching for answers all year, but they've been happy because of the way the second halves have gone in almost every game. Ole Miss with a touchdown on the first play. We got movement.
Start.
Trey Wallace,
offense,
receiver.
Number 2, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
He got 7 into the step. And that's maybe what this Georgia defense needs. It's weird to say that, but the Rebels put themselves behind the 6 here for a 1st and 15 now.
Yeah, they have controlled things with down and distance. They're 5 of 5 on third down, but like we've said, they're averaging third and 4. Now they're behind the sticks.
Wallace spins it, and not looking back quickly was Deuce Alexander. Barely spun his head to even see the football was thrown in his direction.
And Lane went over to the official right away. The receiver, I think, lost his balance on his own. 15 Jones, the corner, had a hand on him, but I don't think he affected him, made him slip and go down. See if Lane makes an adjustment here. No, he's going to run this play.
Need 15 to stay perfect on third down today.
Now he is.
3-man rush. Long throw sidelines. Going up to get it is Alexander, and a flag comes in. But what a grab, and they're still perfect on third down.
That was incredible. Contact there late. What
pass interference.
Catch.
Defense, number 15. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
What a catch here to lay out. Tight coverage. The left hand and arm goes up. He's inbounds. Look at the reaction from Ole Miss. Jeez, that's big time.
Into the portal, like so many teams have done, and really beefed up this receiving corps. As you said, they lost just about everybody. Alexander comes from Wake. His 21st catch of the season. Now comes around, and that's Watkins in motion, and the freshman turns the corner. And they're back to being ahead of the count on second down.
If they score on this drive, and they maybe end up going on to win this game, let's not forget that catch. Unbelievable conversion on third down. And Deuce Alexander deserves all the credit. Good ball, but better catch by Alexander.
Keeper gets a block on the edge. Right, the big tight end cleared out his man. And Chambliss is going to be stopped about 1.5 yards short of the marker.
Love how they sprinkle in just enough of Chambliss. He's actually leading this team right now in rushing. He's carried it 6 times. Some of that called, some of it where he's created. He's going to probably carry it 10 to 12 times throughout this game, and it's just enough for Georgia to have to keep their eyes on him and be aware of him. And he sets them up again on a 3rd and short.
Just sprinkling it in sparingly, aren't they? The longest run for the Rebels is just 7 yards. But just enough to keep the Dogs thinking. Lacey, now heavy traffic on 3rd and 2. He didn't get there. Stopped 1 yard short right at the 30. 4th down for Kiffin. Doesn't go for it nearly as often this year as he has in the past. 5 of 6 they've converted though.
It's a big deal. They got to stop on 3rd down to set up this 4th and short. Ole Miss is already ready to go, but you got to wait with the substitution. Give Georgia a chance to get set, and they're ready to go.
Direct snap. Lacey to Chambliss. Are you kidding me? Looking to throw the ball as Alexander. And just fake it to him. He scoots down the sidelines. Trickery on 4th and 1.
Well, 5 and 6 look kind of similar, but the running back takes the direct snap. Now the quarterback has it, and he can throw it. Everybody's covered, and the reason everybody's covered means he has a lot of room to take off and run.
The little fake pitch, he kind of drew their eyes, right?
Yep, reverse coming back the other way. Couple receivers flooding the zone. Nobody left out in the flat. And we know what he can do with his legs.
Their first explosive run play. They got 16 yards. Set up in the red zone. QB run again. Getting to use it more now in this possession. Picked up just a couple.
Georgia, just strange to see them as a defense. Confused at times. Eyes not in the right spot. On their heels. You could sit here and if you're a Georgia fan and be upset, but I think you have to realize this has everything to do with Trinidad Chambliss, Charlie Weiss Jr., Lane Kiffin, and the players around Chambliss. Ole Miss is executing at an elite level in front of this tough environment.
Chambliss, there's a slant. It's caught by Trey Wallace. David Pilot, our buddy, paid a visit to the bus. He said typically what Smart does after halftime is get real simple. You go to the calls that are like day 1 camp installs, much less complex after halftime. Just not that kind of team that's capable of adjusting as well as others have in the past.
Yeah, that's right. And I think right now they're facing a totally different offense that's executing at a different level.
1st and goal, Lacey. Not going to get there. Stood up by K.J. Bolden and others.
You had Austin Simmons checked. We saw this earlier when they were down inside a 5-yard line.
Chambliss still in there as well.
Gives you a lot of different options. 2 quarterbacks on the field. There's Simmons to the right. He'll be in the right slot of Chambliss.
Georgia brought some big bodies on in the defensive line, but let's see if this one heads to the perimeter. Nope, they're going to try to run right into it. And Chambliss, touchdown, he got in. Trinidad Chambliss continues a superb performance in his first FBS road start.
Well, he does a heck of a job at navigating. He's so natural as a ball carrier. Almost running back skill set. And then the leg drive there. Oh, the knee touches. They'll probably take a peek at this to make sure the ball broke the plane when that knee went down. Looks good to me. Bill, what do you think?
I've got a touchdown. He stretched that out. Then the knee hit.
Here's a look right down the line, Bill. Stretching. Don't see the ball crossing the plane yet. The knee is down there. Thomas's body is kind of in the way of it.
It looks like it already broke.
They are rushing it to take a look at it, but.
Oh, yeah, that's a better look. Back it up a little, guys. In the progressive pylon cam, you can just see the ball is in his right arm, reaching across, and they get it there before the knees hit right there. I think it is.
That's
the knees up.
That's a great look there. You can always count on the progressive pylon cam to show you exactly what's going on there.
Although sometimes, even with the down the line shot, it can be tricky.
Yeah. Last week, I think in the Auburn-Georgia game,
yes,
got blocked.
More than tricky.
Well, Chambliss looks as if he's out for a Sunday stroll as far as the command of the operation. We wondered not just about Chambliss and the inexperience of playing in an SEC atmosphere, just Lane Kiffin's offense. We'd said, at home versus away. And this, forget the points, it's just the way they're going about it with the execution.
After video review,
fascinating.
The call of a touchdown is upheld.
So 5 drives, 5 touchdowns. Lacey and Chambliss each have 2 rushing touchdowns. I agree. He's not even sweating. Look at this guy. This guy's played 2.5 quarters against Georgia on the road.
I think it just goes to show you never underestimate game experience. Even at Ferris State, who's a great program, running all the way to the championship level, just that experience allows him to play with his mind being calm now that he's here in the SEC playing against the Georgia defense.
Ferris State go up and they beat a school from Georgia to win that D2 national championship. Boston State. Looks like he should have been given a chance at D1 a long time ago, I think. There's the catch you talked about.
There's the catch by Deuce Alexander on a 3rd down to keep that drive alive. And a big fella taking it home. Everybody slamming for Ole Miss.
Tomorrow on Sunday NFL Countdown, it's return week in the NFL. Rashee Rice returns to the Chiefs. George Kittle to the 49ers. CeeDee Lamb to the Cowboys. Mike Vrabel to Tennessee. And Jackson Dart returns to the spotlight. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Chris Hervey, back to you in Athens.
Shefty, thank you. Breaking news, Shefty. Benedict Chambliss is the real deal. His folk status is even growing here. Monday night doubleheader, Bucks and Lions. How much fun is it to watch Baker Mayfield?
He is having a year. It'll be a great matchup. Both those games.
Being out there in Seattle, Texans and Seahawks. My first visit to that stadium.
Seattle playing. Yeah. They're a threat in the NFC West. They're looking good.
So Georgia now is down 9 between the hedges, trying to avoid a second home loss in the season. That does not happen in these parts. He came up, black and red body paint, expecting to watch the Dogs respond. Payback. Rebels hasn't happened. Taco Bell, Vidmas Student Section of the Year contest, or the certainly great spirit contenders for that.
Georgia has been a resilient football team all year. Now you're down 9 against this offense. You cannot afford to squander any possession. The way Ole Miss is playing offensively.
Talk about Josh McCray. Rare appearance today. They get the big fella the football. And makes it look easy, picking up 5 off the left side.
Remember that game we had in Knoxville? They answered 5 different times to come back to win that game.
He won it, McCray. Eventually getting in there. Right. Frazier set him up. You're right.
They were down 14-0 to Alabama, fought back. Even though they lost that game, they fought back. And, of course, last week, disaster of the first half against Auburn and came back to win. So it's become a little bit of their personality.
Does this feel different, though?
It feels different. Absolutely. Doesn't mean they can't win it, but it feels different.
Well, they're going to do it the old-fashioned way. They begin the drive with 2 McCray runs and move to 6.
Just an embarrassment of riches this year in that backfield. 5 different guys all bring something a little bit different to the backfield, allows them to stay fresh. Bowens and Frazier most often in that backfield. We see Frazier check back into the game.
Stockton off the play fake, took a peek, and now just scrambles up the middle, got down before taking a big hit, and that's a relief for the Georgia coaches and fans.
Something Pete Golding has used most of this year. Rushing 3, dropping 8, playing zone, make a quarterback, there's Pete Golding right there in the visor, make a quarterback have to be comfortable reading and seeing different layers of the defense. That time he had to get out of there, even just rushing 3 because of the coverage.
Trying to escape again. And headed for the sidelines, spun out of bounds. Perkins got him, but near the marker. Third down coming up.
Saw Beanbag come out because that ball came out, and it might have gone backwards. That may have affected the spot. We'll see.
Good spot there because he did make it across. Yeah, you're right. The ball is
look at that.
Punched out. Perkins ripped it away.
That should be a couple yards further back.
That's why it wasn't a first down.
I saw Beanbag come flying out. Yeah, he's in bounds when that ball comes out. Heck of an effort there by Centurion Perkins, who's had a quiet year this year as far as production. He's been dropping a little bit more in coverage. Last year had a bunch of sacks.
He has had 14 in his career, but he hasn't added to it this year. Still able to affect the game. McCray, he didn't get there. Did not get there on 3rd and 2. And now you said they can't afford to squander any opportunities. I assume you can't afford to punt it away.
Yeah, and that fumble is huge, right? Because if that ball didn't get ripped out and pushed him back by a couple yards, this is first down. Now here we are after that effort by Perkins and a good job on 3rd and short. Now here we are at 4th and 1. They got to get right to that 45-yard line.
Still 3rd quarter, but it feels urgent. Bowens and McCray, both big fellas in there. No! Yes! There's no way he was going to get out of that. He was stacked up, and he just broke free and go for the first down. How do you
Yes! I felt that same thing. That was a great call. The left side of the offensive line got blown up, but McCray, how physical he is. Watch the push. They just blow Georgia up. That forces, I thought that's where Chris said no, and then somehow he's able to sneak out in the back door for first down yardage.
Look at those legs. They keep churning.
Look at the left.
Stay off the ground. He's like 245.
And he's about
this yesterday.
He's about 3 feet off the ground.
3 inches off the ground. He's a touchdown machine. Throughout his career at Illinois. And now at Georgia. But again, we hadn't seen much of him in the first half, so they bring in the big hammer here, late 3rd quarter, and sheer effort.
Yeah, that was
a turnover on downs.
Ole Miss did their job up front. They won the line of scrimmage, but McCray, just like we saw in Knoxville.
Deshaun Womack in to replace Cam Franklin, the starting defensive end, who was hurt on that play. Final minute of this 3rd quarter. Stockton launching. Grant comes back, makes the catch. Wins the one-on-one battle. Jalen Braxton didn't turn his head and see the ball. They pick up 26.
Put him in a slot, throw the fade, back shoulder. Braxton, who's very talented in his first year over from Arkansas, has had a ton of injuries, and it's another college corner not locating the football and adjusting back on an underthrown football.
It's Lucky. Comes across in motion. Stockton's got the ball. Lucky's blocking on the edge. And Gunner picks his way. Whether it's a scramble or a design run, he's beginning to get involved as a runner now.
Thought Holly was going down again, but she did a good job of backing off the line there.
4th quarter coming up. Can the Dogs rally again? End of 3 in Athens. Back after this message. And a word from your local ABC stations. You're watching the SEC on ABC. Welcome back to 4th quarter in Athens. The SEC on ABC. Ole Miss wants to win for the third time in the last 4 meetings head-to-head against the Dogs. Georgia on the move here, 8th or 9th play of this drive. McCray, big fella, gets out to the edge there. More comfortable going downhill north and south. Gushikin stopped him out there.
Much better job that time in the interior, forcing him to have to redirect. One of the great ways to slow down a big back like Josh McCray at 245 is make him bounce the ball.
Rebels just trying to get guys off the field for this 3rd and 1, and they're going to move the 6 and move the pile.
I don't know.
At 12 on the field when
I don't think he got off.
No.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. The result of the foul is a first down.
Defender trying to get off was on the Georgia side of the line of scrimmage.
You got a little bit of confusion. He's trying to get off, but on the end, right here, Perkins is lined up there in the neutral zone.
Dogs desperate need of a touchdown in the red zone here. Branch in motion. It's handed off to Frazier. Quick burst. Picks up about 8-9 yards.
Now, what patience here by Micah Morris, the left guard, and the back. Watch 56. He has to be able to establish this block. So Frazier gives him time, get up to the backer, and then just gets behind him. Just waiting, and then accelerating.
3 Georgia tight ends in the football game now. Frazier to the right of Stockton. Gunner keeps it, goes to the right side, so they ran away from all those tight ends, and he's going to be stopped right near the marker. Should be enough for a first and goal. And Drew Jones made the stop.
The one thing you got to love about 14, Gunner Stockton, is the heart that he plays with. This guy gets punished every single week. You know, you want to say, get down, slide. It's just part of his game. You see the mouthpiece there flying out. It's hard to tell a guy that a big part of who he is running the football and lowering his shoulder not to do it.
Play 12 of this drive. Looking to throw for it, pitches it down, and Frazier walks in. Desperately needed for the Dogs to cut into this lead, which is now 3.
Well, that was a great way to finish off a drive for Georgia. Don't forget the effort on 4th and 1 by Josh McCray to keep the drive alive. Without that effort, they don't score. They're stopped.
Not normally a receiver. That's the first touchdown pass in his college career. He went for a touchdown. This is his 6th catch of the year. Back to a 2-point game.
Go back, as we mentioned, this effort by Josh McCray needs to be remembered. 6 feet, 245 pounds. He stopped, and then he gets the first down. And then Georgia keeps the drive alive. They get in the red area, and Gunner Stockton makes a nice throw. Easy touchdown. The Dogs hanging around, down 2.
What a great day in the SEC. This is Chapter 2. Ty Simpson and the Tide in T-Town. Traditional 3rd Saturday in October game as the high-flying balls come calling.
How about these triple headers on ABC? Honestly, I mean, if you're or fans, how great is it that Vandy, LSU, Ole Miss, Georgia, and then tonight Tennessee and Alabama? Pretty good.
And the games are certainly hand out. Bennett Chandler's a reminder of where he came from. He goes to Ferris State, didn't have a D1 offer. This is them pummeling Valdosta State to win the championship last year, made it look easy. You can see he's doing the same things, but now he's doing it against the Bulldogs in Athens.
Just seeing him, watching him in those highlights at Ferris State, like you say, he's doing the same thing. The coolest thing is the composure, the poise. right? He's executing. By the way, this is a team that usually averages over 200 yards on the ground. He hasn't gotten a lot of help from his running game today. It's been all him.
He's thrown for 262. Looking for more. Oh, it was Daquan Wright running down the seam. He missed him. Holly?
Well, I was just listening in as Joe Judge, the quarterback coach for Ole Miss, talked to Chambliss before he took the field for this series. He said, we have to stay on schedule. We don't have to chase plays. Go out there and enjoy this. But right now, behind schedule, this is exactly what they did not want.
Missed opportunity there. Wright was wide open.
That was a big one.
Noisy on 2nd and 10, and it's batted down. Chambliss listed at 6 feet, more like 5'10". He does have passes batted down, and Georgia's very good at it. Xavier McLeod that time.
Yeah, the ball gets out so fast, you obviously can't get in there, but you do the next best thing by knocking it down.
Is this the moment when the game turns in Georgia's favor? Deafening now. Extra rusher. Chambliss slings it. Broken up. Dalen Everett got the arm out in front of Stribling. And Georgia, ladies and gentlemen, has a stop against Ole Miss.
And you said it. Deafening. By far the loudest this stadium's been all afternoon. And leave it to C.J. Allen, number 3, the veteran, the leader in this defense, to be able to get the pressure home, coming around on a twist all the way around. And it's amazing when Georgia's defense can get you to 3rd and long. They can apply pressure. Haven't been able to do that all game.
So the very first punt from Oscar Bird, the Aussie. Fair caught by Zachariah Branch. It's 42 yards. So in the second half, you've seen a couple of touchdowns. Ole Miss stretched the lead to as many as 9. Georgia, that last possession, chipping it away to 2. Lucky with his second. Went for 2, didn't get it, and then Frazier out of the backfield followed this run by Chambliss. But now you can just feel the energy completely change. That touchdown drive by Georgia, first down incompletion, missed opportunity, and the 3 and out. And the Dogs will continue to pound away. Now they give it to Dylan Bell on the edge. Bell off running. Dylan Bell dragged down at midfield. And momentum has definitely swung.
No doubt about it. It's been the personality of this team all year long. We talked about how resilient they've been. They just trust in the second half that they're going to play complementary football and find a way to win a game. Long way to go with 12 minutes to go. But like you said, the momentum has definitely switched in favor of the Dogs.
Remember that the Rebels defense hasn't gotten a stop yet. Able to force a couple field goal attempts. And this time it's Oscar Delp picking up about 6.
Mike Bobo sticking to his guns, having a balanced attack today. Run the football 34 times, thrown it now 27 times. Gunnar Stockton has had a very efficient game. 22 of 27, 227 through the air, and 3 touchdowns to no picks.
And neither quarterback has thrown an interception today. Frazier up the left side, broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, drives those legs, first down and more to the 36.
This is, if you're just tuning in, you maybe went to a game today, you're just tuning in, wow, look at this game. This is the drive chart that Georgia's had. Look at the field goal, touchdown, field goal. You'd think, oh, wow, comfortable day for Georgia with 6 drives like that. But we'll unfortunately got to show you the Ole Miss drive chart next.
Bowens knocked down. They have result TDs until that last one.
I say unfortunately because if you're a Georgia fan, and here's our first punt of the ball game right there.
Look at the distance, though, Kirk. All 65 and 75-yard drives.
Yeah. Look at all these 14, 10, 11 play drives.
But they did stop Chambliss at last time, and now Georgia can claim the lead. First time since they led 3-0 after their opening possession.
With a condensed formation look with a couple tight ends and Humphreys.
Play fake. Stockton scanning downfield. And now just trying to scramble. Has a lot of room off to his left. And he ain't sliding. Dives down. First down at the 25. Got 8 yards there.
When you only rush 3 and you drop 8, it's going to be obviously tough to get to the quarterback. They're counting on just a coverage sack, but he's too athletic and has too much ability and potential with his legs. When you go that route, you better keep an eye on the quarterback taking off.
Frazier could not get the edge. Tried to accelerate, but Andrew Jones showed some quickness and got there first.
Both offensive lines have played well. You know, we talked Georgia, how they've had so many different injuries this year up front, but these guys today doing a good job of giving Gunnar Stockton time to throw, opening up some holes.
It's made a difference to get Ernest Green, the right tackle, back number 71, Freeling over there on the left side. You're right.
Great.
Very stabilized finally in that position group. Second and 10. Stockton to Branch. He's got some space. Makes a cut. Olay. And then leaps out of bounds. He'll stop and go from Zacharias. Another first down.
He's as nifty as any ball carrier or receiver in the country. When he has that ball in his hands, Dylan Bell's just taking the defense, stretching him out. Just give him a little bit of space. Makes Chris Graves Jr. miss. Like you said, a little like that Olay. And how about how quickly he accelerates coming off once he landed off that jump.
Frazier motions in. First down from the 12. Frazier beginning to just push that Rebels front back on 5 more on first down.
I showed you the drive trouble. You wonder what it does to these defenses. How fatigued are they? Look at Ole Miss. They have hands on their hips right now. These guys are tired. They've been out there a lot. Both these defenses have been out there a lot and without a lot of success.
Xavier Harris there. Belly hanging out, trying to find a way to get a stop. This was Georgia running game. Bowen's the back. Fake it to him. Stockton end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Hat trick. Lawson lucky. Georgia tight ends quiet most of the year. He wore to life today. How about that? 3 touchdown catches for Lucky. He didn't have one this season coming in.
Incredible. Incredible. They found an opportunity to attack those second level with those tight ends. This is an RPO.
So went back and forth. Georgia's last lead, 17-14. This is the 6th lead change of the game. Midway, 4th quarter. And the margin is now 5 for the Dogs.
Got an RPO. He's got Lucky off to his left here to throw it, but he's making the read off of the linebacker right here. Once you make that read, the linebacker commits up. It's a nice throwing lane for him to be able to put the ball right on the money for, as he says, number 3 on the day for Lucky.
SEC on ABC College Football is presented by Burger King. You rule.
Now, tests of poise and composure come frequently. Trinidad Chambliss spectacular in passing those early tests. But now, with Georgia trying to add to this list of comeback victories, the margin is 5 as the Ole Miss offense takes over midway here in the final quarter. And this crowd really came to life in that last defensive series for Georgia. It's a real test for him and now for this offense.
Yeah, with the momentum and the way it's switched, with 7:29 to go, this is really the possession.
Play fake Chambliss from the pocket. Checks it down. Lacey is going to be swallowed up and slammed down by Quintavious Johnson. Not much.
Go into the boundary. Just not a lot of room there. Johnson, a good job of being out there in the flat. C.J. Allen cleans it up. Boy, they're right in front of the student section, as loud as it gets for Chambliss.
Again, checks it down with a fastball high and off the hands of Lacey. He was knocked down after the throw.
Quintavious Johnson made the previous play out the flat, out in space. Follows it up with a great pass rush. We haven't seen Georgia rush the quarterback all night. They did there. 3rd and 9.
A little more touch in the pass, and he had some room, had a blocker in front. Here we go, 3rd and 9. Chambliss launching downfield. Barrett for the ball. Oh, making the play was Trey Wallace, but broken up and saying thumbs down is DeMello Jones. Dogs get another stop. Back to back 3 and outs.
That's man coverage. 3-on-3. I'll tell you what, I don't know if Jones ever saw the ball, but I think that left hand got in there, maybe just a fingertip to get on that to knock that away. And there's the pressure again, this time Chris Cole.
Rarely has he felt that pass rush. He felt it that time, hit in the back after the throw. Branch didn't feel the punt. Good effort by Bird as the offie boots one down there. 64-yard boot. Rolls dead at the 10. But the Dogs up 5. Get the football back with 6:32 to play between the hedges. Since halftime, Stockton pitched in a perfect game. 10 for 10. 3 touchdown passes. 2 to Lucky, 1 to Frazier. Now the Dogs have the football with a 5-point lead, but backed up at their 10-yard line.
That was a opportunistic bounce on that punt for Ole Miss. About 15 more yards they picked up in pushing Georgia back to the 10-yard line.
Bigger to see Frazier in the running game. Rebels figured he would do that, but they couldn't stop him. Got 8 yards. Holly?
Well, we've seen Gunnar Stockton put his body on the line time and time again today, making tough plays. And if you wonder why, this is his dream he's living out right here. He's about 4 years old. Here he is with UGA. He's wanted to be in this moment all of his life. He started working at it 6 years old with Mike Bobo's dad, George Bobo, as his quarterback coach. This is all coming to fruition right now. When you see him make those tough runs, it's because he wants it so bad. It's his whole life dream.
That's well put, Holly. No lack of want in his game. You saw Uga, by the way, that live shot. He's up there at attention right on the doorstep of that doghouse. Sometimes he's laying down in the back. No.
He's up.
He's alert.
He sensed momentum swing, crowd noise. Big fella's ready to roll right now. Up 5. He'd be proud of the true freshman. Dontrell Glover right now is in. Think about this. Crunch time. You got a true freshman in as they rotate bodies on that right side. 63. And right next to him, Juan Gaston, the true freshman at right tackle.
Now the Rebels fans wondering who can step up and make a play from our defense. They have been moved backwards pretty aggressively by this offensive line. Lately, there you go. On cue, invading the backfield has been Xavier Harris. Belly hanging out, but he's got some quicks for a big man.
You know, I really think his eyes were on the outside, to the player to the outside right here. And instead of to the inside, he's making that read on the edge, the man on the edge. That's 8. I think he didn't even really consider the fact that the big man, 51, Harris at 6'8", 330, was going to be a factor.
Rebels have the only 3 tackles for loss in the game. So the Dogs at 2nd and 12 looking to throw for it. Stockton down the far sideline. Making a catch is Dylan Bell. 1-on-1. Fought back and came up with it. 36 yards inside the Ole Miss 40.
Now the best ball Gunnar Stockton makes, in my opinion, is that downfield go ball And why not go after the weakness? Even though it's a risky call after that tackle for a loss, the weakness of Ole Miss is the corners. Go after him. Trust your quarterback to make a throw. And how about Dylan Bell? With Colby Young down, he has to step up, make that play vertically downfield, and he does.
Ball spotted to the 46. Bowens. Toss sweep. Old school Georgia. Knocked out of bounds at the 35. Is the field just tilted left to right? It sure
feels this way. It sure feels that way. Look at all the polars. There's Gaston, 73. You already see the receiver Humphreys. Delp getting out there. It's a tired defense. 73 plays. Not to mention they haven't had a stop. So the psychological warfare on the mind collectively of the Ole Miss defense and the physical fatigue, 74th play, they're trying to defend.
Second length of a football, so a chance to pitch to the end to Branch. And Branch is going to be run out of bounds. Enough for the first down before Sage Ryan made the play.
A quick run-pass option instead of running it into the middle. It's soft cushion. Just take it. Get it out to the edge.
Noticing the clock now for the first time becoming a real factor inside of 3 minutes. Kiffin just desperate to get the football back. Georgia would love to just bleed this all the way out.
Look how tired that defense looks. You got the 3 timeouts. You got the 2-minute timeout. And you got a tired Ole Miss defense. Desperation time for the Rebels. It's like a boxer in the 12th round. It's holding on.
Right on cue, Frazier, speaking of boxers, makes a move, cuts it back in another chunk.
That was a 3-yard loss that turned into a 3-yard gain. That's 6 yards with 2 minutes, what are we, 2:16 right now. This place is feeling it.
Well, Kiffin just spending a timeout to give his defense a rest, number one, but trying to figure out a way to get this football back and not be down more than 1 score. It's going to take everything that defense has to do that.
To force this field goal. I mean, Georgia's already looking at, with the 2-minute warning, they get another first down. They can really start to work that clock down. It's hard. Think about this Ole Miss defense. They haven't had a stop today. I mean, and you're asking them, Georgia's defense flipped a switch. They had back-to-back stops. But this tired Ole Miss defense that's been pushed around up front in this balanced attack, can they slip and get into the backfield?
Tight end stack to the left. Frazier's running it to the right. And going to set up a 3rd and short. And Kiffin's going to spend another timeout here, kind of going all in on this series. He will get a stoppage, as you said, with the 2-minute timeout. But the Dogs need 3 for a fresh set. Capital One bringing you the CFB rankings coming into this game. Ohio State just quietly rolling along, crushing Wisconsin.
Oh, look at this one down here.
Texas Tech trails in Tempe. That is interesting. Early, Oregon down by a field goal at Rutgers.
LSU losing to Vandy, and Diego Pavia with a bounce-back game after the loss to Alabama a couple of weeks ago. They had a bye week. Look at this place coming to the student section. It's one of those places where it's general admission seating for the students. They're in here an hour and a half, 2 hours before anybody else is in their seats. Completely full. Such dedication and support for their Bulldogs here.
Rebels need to get a stop. Georgia needs 3 to keep this punishing drive going. Frazier. No, he's going to to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. That is a big play by Andrew Jones, a backup who's played well this afternoon.
And he came all the way from the other side to be able to use his speed and make this play. Georgia wasn't able to get up to him. He's right here. He works all the way across to be able to make this play. See, Georgia's offensive line, nobody can climb. They're all eaten up. Defensive line does their job, and he cleans that play up to force his 4th down.
Yeah, Kiffin spent his last time out, Kirk, so he's got the 2-minute timeout in his pocket, but really has gone all in on this series. If you're Kirby Smart, do you send out the reliable Woodring? Do you make it an 8-point game? Do you keep the offense out there with a 1st down? You need 3 yards, would kill the game. If you can do it.
I think you go, I mean, it sounds great. Hey, let's put them out of their misery the way we played offensively. It makes sense. But I think the safe call for Kirby, you kick a field goal with a reliable kicker, you go up 8, then everything has to work perfectly for Lane Kiffin with the touchdown and a 2-pointer to send it into overtime. So I get this. It makes sense.
Stockton out there to hold, as he has done since the days when he was Carson Beck's backup. Very reliable holder. Woodring reliable himself from 42 to make it 3 for 3 today and make the lead 8. The kick gets up and over the long arms of Wright. Knocked it right through.
Did you see the hole by Gunnar Stockton? I thought that ball might have gotten away from him. It was down near the ground. That's why you rep 100 of these a day. It is on the ground. He got it up. Perfect hole. Laces away. And right after he made it, he went right up to Gunnar like, thank you. Great job. I love you.
That's why the starting quarterback is still the holder, because it's an important job, and the kicker feels comfortable.
Yep.
Gunnar more than willing to do whatever it takes to help the team win. Now, Trinidad Chambliss, unstoppable. This entire Ole Miss offense, whatever Kiffin was calling, was working. 5 touchdown drives, but things have dried up. A scoreless 4th quarter, back-to-back 3-and-outs. What can they do with all this crowd noise and an inspired defense has a chance to win the game right here for Georgia?
And the tough part is they haven't been able to run the football. You know, and I think late in a game like this puts everything on Chambliss's back. He's got a great group of receivers. He's got to be patient, even without the timeouts. He still has got the 2-minute timeout, but he's got to not feel rushed. He's been so effective reading this defense. It's where Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr., they put together a really good package in these situations to be able to move the ball.
You're Woodring first and keep the kickoff in bounds. It's bouncing down there, and it's going to be fielded by Hartrup. First kickoff return to Singh, then a bunch of touchbacks and fair catches, and he got stopped at the 23, and that is the 2-minute timeout.
I was going to say, you would love to see him just run up and just dive and get down. Instead, they lose their 2-minute timeout.
That worked out perfectly for Georgia there. Trinidad Chambliss, can he make some magic here? Can he find the end zone and a 2-point try? Now pure energy between the hedges. 2 minutes to play. Ole Miss needs to move it 77 yards and then convert a 2-pointer. Something that Georgia basically had to do against a crowd like this at Tennessee to force OT and eventually win it. Lacey. Passing game hasn't worked in the 4th quarter. Last 2 drives, Chambliss 1 for 6, Kirk 1 yard.
And that's the longest run he's had of the game. Good time to slip that in by Charlie Weiss Jr. Start this drive with a 1st down.
Chambliss across the middle, low and incomplete. Tried to find Wright. He's been targeted lately, but Chambliss's accuracy has dropped a little bit in this 4th quarter. It was low.
Yeah, it looks like he's rushing a little bit. And also, Georgia's doing a much better job of getting after him and winning at the line of scrimmage. Even though they're not coming up with sacks, he's feeling that rush on these last few series.
Not looking nearly as calm and composed as he was for the first 3 quarters. Pressure comes again. Chambliss trying to stay alive, and now just has to throw it away. Heavy pressure. Josh Horton provided it.
And it did a nice job of simulating pressure here. You bring both the linebackers here, you drop the defensive end, you affect the communication with the offensive line, and you surprise Chambliss. It's a guy that usually can make plays with his feet, but completely taken away with that blitz by the backers.
Rebels down to 2 plays to get 10 yards. Plenty of time. Kiffin checking out the defense, trying to signal to his quarterback. Dogs moving around. Pressure again. Stands and delivers, and it was almost intercepted. Dalen Everett broke it up, and it's 4th down.
Really feels like the first time that Chambliss has looked rushed, looked uncomfortable. You wonder how much of that is him in the moment and how much of that is Georgia cranking up the defense here these last couple of possessions.
I vote for the latter.
Yeah.
4th down, gotta have it, not gonna get it. Batted down to the line of scrimmage. That was Josh Horton again, just trying to take over late in the game, and the Dogs are gonna do it again.
The most resilient team in college football, the Georgia Bulldogs, did not look good early. They just keep together. They just believe. When you do it that many times, we showed you a graphic, they did it in 24. It's the 3rd time they've done it in 25. The twist right there allows him to be able to get to that edge and use his eyes to time that up perfectly.
You have depth. They don't have what they're used to having, but you get a guy like Horton who's fresh. He's flying around as a pass rusher these last couple series. Chambliss, a game effort, really played well. But in the second half, Ole Miss couldn't convert. 1 3rd down.
And Chris, going into today, we had 10 teams in the SEC still alive and still believing that they can get to Atlanta. We're on game day trying to figure out which 2 teams can get there every week. This is when you start beating each other up in this conference. Finding a way to beat a top 5 opponent for Georgia. So big for their cause and what they're trying to achieve this year. They went from, another loss at home, first to Bama, now to Ole Miss, to flipping the script and getting out of here with a huge win.
They went in giving 5 touchdown drives in a row up to Ole Miss. Punt, and that 4th down stop in the last 3 possessions, shutting out this high-powered offense in the final quarter.
Right on cue, right? That's who they've been. And that continues.
And for Ole Miss, their first loss, has a very manageable schedule, certainly by SEC standards. So their season far from done. They're very much in the mix to head to Atlanta.
Yep.
But it's the Dogs' day. Kiffin congratulating Gunnar Stockton. Brilliant this afternoon. Mutual respect continues between these 2 guys. It's the Dogs surviving and advancing again. Down to Holly.
Well, Gunnar, on a day where the defense is struggling to get stops, how did you put it together methodical drives on offense time and time again?
Yeah, it was a great day. We just played for each other, and that's the best part about our team. We just played for each other and never quit fighting.
You had to make a play to save things at the end there with a low snap. You're holding on a crucial field goal. What brings to mind when the ball comes in like that?
They wasn't too bad. They wasn't too bad with the snap. I have to say, we made a good kick.
This team is one of the most resilient in college football. Why don't you quit?
I think it's just the group of guys we have. We just never quit, and it's the way we practice. It's the way we go about our business.
You grew up wanting to be a Bulldog your whole life. We showed the picture of you and Uga as a little boy. What does this mean for you as you walk off the field here tonight?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I said, it's a dream come true. I'm just honored and blessed to be here in this position.
I think fans should know you were so banged up after Auburn. You didn't practice much this week. How did you find the grit to come out and play here like this tonight? Because you made tough run after tough run.
Yeah, just padded it up a little bit. Just played, so.
and just keep rolling. Thank you, Gunner.
Thank you.
Second half, 12 for 12, 135, and the 3 touchdowns. And yeah, you don't see what happens away from the games, though. The treatment rooms, all they have to do is recover and get ready to come out and play like this.
This Georgia offense, they were on point the entire game. And Gunner Stockton obviously leading them, time scrambling, a lot of great throws, spread the ball all around. Tight ends, receivers, running backs, offensive line did their job. The reason Georgia was able to get out of here, remember, they were down 9. Josh McCray gave you that great effort to pick up the conversion on 4th down. And from that point on, it was all Dogs as they scored on that drive and never looked back.
Scored on every drive, 8 for 8. Points produced, 510 yards of total offense. And for Ole Miss, nothing to be ashamed about. Handled this situation well, beautifully, but in the end, Georgia just ratcheted up, found a way to make the quarterback uncomfortable, and walk out with a win.
That's a good point. I think it's a disappointing loss. As good as Ole Miss played offensively, it's frustrating. They came in, they knew this environment would be tough on them, and they had an opportunity. I mean, they were up 9 in the second half with a chance to win it, but Georgia did what Georgia does, and they found a way to come together. The McCray play was kind of a springboard to the rest of that half, but the defense, the Georgia defense, were waiting and waiting, and they came on those last 3 possessions.
The McCray plays a 4th down. No, yes, and he somehow bounced off people, kept the chains moving, and you're right, that was a small game, but a big moment in this game. The highest scoring in this series history. Which SEC today? Vanderbilt, LSU, big, massive win in Nashville there. This classic, and Tennessee, Alabama coming up Tuscaloosa.
I can't wait. Get in front of a TV and saddle up and watch that one. It's going to be fun to be a fan of a night game. But this was electric. This was incredible. We love coming in here, and you got to give both teams a lot of credit for the way they battled.
It was a true pleasure. A lot of grit, as Georgia's known for, all the resilience. They got some things to fix and work out, and Kirby Smart would be the first one to say that. You got a bye week, and they'll need it, and then it used to be called the cocktail party in Jacksonville against the Gators. What a day in the SEC. Dogs come from behind, come from 12 down to win it by 8. Bill Bonnell produced the game. Jimmy Platt directed it for our entire crew here in Athens. Holly, Bill, Kurt, Chris saying so long. Kevin Nagandi in the studio now.